What's up, everyone? It's your boy BLAZEDxENFERNO, and you are listening to episode 70 of the Infernal Gaming Podcast. We're recording this episode October 8th. So happy spooky season, y'all. I mean, if you've been watching the streams, we've been embracing it fully. Spooky season is in full effect. I'm enjoying this weather. It's currently, hold on, let me do the Rambo thing. It's currently 59 degrees out. It feels good. My house is cold as shit because I left the fan on in the living room, so I'm fucking freezing. But it feels good, man. It feels good out here. And I hope you feel good too. Pause. You know what I mean?
It's the white side of you that loves that cold shit, man. I don't like this.
Facts. And if you're new to the show, just know you can listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. Links in the description. Check out our personal links down below. You know, check out Eknight's Twitch, YouTube, all that stuff below, even though he's not on the show. I mean, make sure you check him out. And remember to rate us 5 stars on Apple and Spotify, and make sure you like the episode on YouTube. It really helps us out. We've been getting a lot of listeners on Spotify and Apple lately. Y'all been listening to it on there more. It fluctuates. Y'all been fucking with it on YouTube. Now it seems like y'all over here on Spotify and stuff. We appreciate it. We appreciate the love, everything like that. Y'all getting a double pack with this episode, all right? What I mean by a double pack is episode 70 and 71 are dropping within the same week. It might even drop on the same day because this episode isn't going to come out on time. It's actually going to come out like a week late because I'm trying to test the algorithm out a little bit. So bear with me. I know y'all been waiting for this episode. Y'all see the title. This is the music edition of the podcast. This is like a real episode, music episode. Like, this isn't an album retrospective. This is literally like, we got 30 albums to talk about today, dog. I mean, y'all know I got my boy Warren with me. You know what I mean?
What? What's good with y'all?
You know, he's here. We don't got Bird with us. And I'll explain that briefly, real quick.
We beefing. That's why we beefing. We beefing.
Nah, man, we ain't gonna do that. I was like, man, I'm about to go with it. Nah, we're not beefing.
You have to make an executive decision right then and there. Let's go roll with this tonight.
Let's just say it like this, man. That boy is a busy man, dog. He's a busy man, dog. He's a family man. He's got a lot going on. So it's just one of those things where
he's on the journey to be the most qualified man in the world. This nigga do everything, okay? Fireman, dad, fucking military nigga, big brother, all that type of stuff. They can does it all.
Man. So it's one of those things where for this episode in particular, we're gonna do it with just me and Warren. But I know by the next time we do a music podcast like this, I'm gonna make sure Bird is on it. It's probably gonna be towards the end of the year when we talk about favorite albums and stuff like that,
and Grammy stuff and whatnot. Usually,
yes, sir. So. I mean, just stay tuned for that, man. Stay tuned for that. But this is going to be a long episode, so I suggest you. If you're one of them people that bang out podcasts in one sitting, get you some snacks, get you something to eat, something to drink. Maybe dim the lights a little bit. Look out the window. Look at the fall leaves.
Chill with that,
change.
man. Niggas ain't trying to set the mood to listen to a music podcast.
You listen, set the mood because, dog, we got 31 projects to talk about today. A lot of them we're gonna talk about briefly, but we haven't done one of these since the drought. All right, since the drought. Right? And just for reference, right, the drought dropped. That was episode 58. So this is 12 episodes later, which is roughly 6 months later, dog. Because I think that shit came out April or something like that. Hold up, let me double check. That shit came out April 25th. So we almost 6 months in, and we're fine. We got 6 months of albums to talk about, basically. But the drought is officially over. I would say it's over. I think the drought is definitely over.
Yeah, listen, if Drake dropped, the drought is over. Okay, we in Q4 now.
Yeah, the drought is over, dog. So we're gonna start this shit off. We gonna get it popping. Let's crack our knuckles and dive in. Let's talk with an easy one first. Easy one. Right? We're gonna talk about the industry plant herself, dog, because I think we've talked about it before in the podcast. We may have,
We have back when you with your our old co-hosts.
Yeah, we definitely talked about Ice Spice's like EP, but it recently got a deluxe. That shit came out. How we feeling about that, John, man?
Again, this is where what's it, Deli came out on, right?
Yes.
I told you how I felt about that one before, where it's like, of all the songs that she's like released and everything like that, I mean, everybody was fucking with Munch. I mean, that was damn near the fucking anthem of our like Nebraska trip, with much to like our annoyance. But I'll say that song in particular is like, okay, I actually like it because it actually deviates from the whole, like, everybody who listens to this podcast should know by now, like, or is no stranger to how I feel about New York drill. It's terrible. I was never the biggest fan of Pop Smoke. Fabio? I think he has great lyrical ability, but when he drops into that bag, it's terrible. I just don't like the sound. Like UK drill, freaking all this type of shit is terrible to me. So like, when it comes to her in particular, what I see a lot of is, again, just her being placed down our throats for no apparent reason other than that. Oh yeah, she's fine and like she raps, but it's not like I don't hear anybody like saying her shit. To be quite honest, okay. I mean, hearing that Barbie thing here and there,
right.
But like, but I'm like, nobody's really like saying like she's really all that as far as like ability and everything. So like, I still need a full length project to get an idea of like, okay, who is this artist, rather than just who is this figure that's just being put out there because and being popular just for popularity's sake.
Yeah. I'm a double back on that because Deli, I really didn't like that joint when it first came out, but it like grew on me. Like, see, like, I understand the hate for Ice Spice. I do. Like, when people hate on her, like, I get it. But I also think, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I think she has some genuine talent, and it's like, I feel like it's kind of undeniable. Like, she hasn't put out like a full length project to like let us really gauge where she's at, like how people are like really fucking with her. I think she got a little thing like Nicki's got the Barb, she's got the Munchkins or whatever. So she's got like her little thing going for her as far as that, like her little, hive and shit like that.
She got a hive? She got a hive?
Yeah, they're called the Munchkins, dog, and they ride, dog. They fucking ride, dog.
For what reason? How you get a hive off of one song? That's wild.
I think a lot of Ice Spice's what people like about her is her presence, dog. Like if you listen to a lot of like her interviews and stuff like that, she just kind of seems like a down-to-earth ass girl, dog. You know what I mean? Like she just, and like I remember when she first came out, like when she came out with like damn, she in a mood, and that music video came out, and like people were like looking at like her outfit in the video and stuff like that. It's like she's coming with a very unique style that I think like a lot of like women in the rap game just kind of got on. Like she like kind of reminds me of like a ratchet version of Doja Cat. You know what I mean? Like she's like a ratchet version of Doja Cat in the sense of like the way she carries herself and stuff like that. Like, I think people like kind of cling to that. Like they like that about her. I like that about her too, because she just seems like she's like really down to earth. It doesn't seem like she's trying to be like the greatest ever or be like this, like remembered in hip hop for all time. And like, she wants like all these views and stuff. It just seems like she enjoys what she does. She makes music for the girls, and the girls shake their ass to it. So, I mean, it's working.
Yeah, I'll double on that, because we're kind of in a space right now where it's like I don't want to say transitioning, but we're not necessarily fixated on the superstar raptress, and more along the lines of these girls are more relatable, because this is shorty that you see down the block. I mean, I don't think this is a coincidence that you have a rise of people like Glorilla, Ice Spice, Sexy Red, Sukiana, all them, because it's beyond just that the quality of their music is decent, but they're also mad relatable. So that speaks to not only like women, but also like even men who associate themselves with women, like the Sexy Reds and whatnot of the world.
Mm-hmm. And we're gonna get deeper into that. I'm glad you said that, because again, I think like female hip hop is at this really good spot where like I think a lot of the women this year they kind of carried, dog. A lot of these girls that they became like trendsetters, or they've kind of like set the mood for a lot of this shit, especially the summertime. Like I think the summer, like the girls ran the shit. So it's like shout out to y'all, because I think a lot of it is just like a lot of these women, for better or worse, and like I said, we'll talk about that later, are very raw. Like they're very raw with their music, like almost like a Lil Kim raw with like a little splash of like, you know, like Nicki to it. Like I wouldn't say like we're getting any like Lauryn Hills. Like we kind of do it like Rhapsody and shit like that.
We're not getting any more Lauryn Hills.
Yeah.
Long time.
Them days are over, but I think like we're getting back to like women like just kind of being raw and living in their truth and the way that they move. And it's like, because, all right, kind of going off the beaten track, right, a little bit, but this is good conversation, right? I think for a long time, like, I'll go ahead and say it, dog. When Meg Thee Stallion first dropped, right, when she first came out with Realer, I was like the biggest fan of her, because I thought, like, again, like just like the title says, she was very raw, very real. I actually knew of her before that project came out, when she came out with like Tina Snow and shit like that, when she did that like Texas, Houston, Texas freestyle and shit. Like I knew her like back then. Like I've always known her style. So I'm like, all right, like that's her. But like, I'm not gonna lie, like the My Pussy raps, like I'm like tired of it, dog. Like the Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, it's like just them two. Like it's just like my pussy, my pussy, my pussy, my pussy, my pussy. Like I'm like low key, like kind of like tired of it, dog. Like they just dropped that song Bongos, and it's like the third bar or the second bar on the song is literally like this pussy. It's like, bro, like I feel like I need more. And like Glorilla, she does it. Sexy Red does like a little bit of both, where she talks about a pussy, but it's like it's also like kind of ratchet and raw, and like the sense of like a nigga could kind of fuck with the music, dog. Like I can't relate to Cardi B talking about her pussy. Like I can't relate to it. You know what I mean? And it's not for me to relate to. Like but I get the sentiment a lot, like on Twitter when I see it. Like a lot of women are kind of just like tired of like the My Pussy raps. Like I think like we're getting to a point where it's like you always like the only person I think that could talk about they pussy right now and the shit'll be heat is like literally probably Sexy Red and Nicki Minaj. Like anybody else, I don't want to hear it, dog. I don't want to talk about your pussy, dog. I don't want to hear you talk about that shit. And it's like Megan Thee Stallion has made 3 fucking projects of her talking about her pussy, if you really think about it. Like,
well, wait, man. Like Traumazine was nothing like that.
Dog, come on, man. Come on. But the shit was ass, dog. The shit was ass.
It was not ass. It was not ass by any stretch of the imagination. It was a good album. I'll give it that much.
My opinion, that shit could have stayed in the lab, dog. That shit could have stayed in the lab. But like, I'm just saying, like with an Ice Spice, does she talk about her pussy? Of course, she talk about it all the time.
Not only does she talk about it, she waves that shit. She touches that shit. She's all about it. Like it's in your face.
She's always talking about, you know, the nigga giving her mozzie, you know what I mean, which is head, and I guess in New York slang. You know what I mean? So she's very raw. So she does the same thing, but it's something about it where it's like, yo, I can fuck with it. I can respect it. But like with you know what I mean? I like this project, dog. Like I like I kind of like some of the songs that people don't like really like talk about, like Butterfly Coup. I like that song on there. Deli's all right. Of course, I like Princess Diana. I don't really like the intro. So that's kind of got me like worried when she does do like a full-length album, because like I won't lie, like the one thing Cardi was good at with her album, Invasion of Privacy, that fucking intro was fire, dog. Like the whole Dreams and Nightmares joint, like I was feeling that, dog. Like I was feeling that. So it's like we gotta see, man. We gotta wait on Ice Spice, dog.
I just hope that she actually is surrounded by some decent like artist development and they're sitting on this and waiting until the right moment for it to kind of put something together before they put it out there.
Yeah, I'm excited to see like who she like works with and taps in with. Like, I'm excited to see like what these features gonna look like if she does do
It's
like
going to be a lot of. It's going to be very New York heavy. I bet you.
I don't know. I think she might.
You're going to see some Fabio. You're going to see some Lil TJ. You're going to see all that shit. You're going to see some. It's going to be very, very, very. Like, we're looking for New York niggas.
Yeah, all right, yeah, but I'm waiting to see who else she tap in with, though. It's like I said, like when I see her like on her little like grams and shit, she's literally like around a lot of different people. So it's just one of those things where it's like, damn.
Do you think she has the artistic versatility to kind of like be in a room with, say, like a Juicy J or something like that, or be like could switch from there to maybe like, I'm not even gonna go as far as to say like Jay-Z, because if she gets a Jay-Z verse, that'd be like the wildest thing.
I can see her like tapping in with like a Juicy J. I can see her fucking with like a Tyler the Creator.
Like, I can't see that.
I can see that, dog. I can see that because she a little weird, John. So I think like that's her. Like, she got that little vein with her. Like, did she like the bad bitches fuck with her, but the weird bitches fuck with her too. Like the alt black girls and all that shit, they fuck with her too. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think like, yeah, I could see her tapping in with like Bia, maybe like, you know, like the Migos. I could see her fucking with like the UK niggas, because, you know, they kind of got like the similar sound. I can see her touching hands with a lot of people. We just gotta see. We gotta see where the project goes, man. We ain't gonna rate this one though, because I think we've already talked about this album, and we really just talking about the deluxe. We trying to get the conversation going, get the ball rolling. So we just gonna leave it at that. We're gonna step into one of the more controversial albums of the year, dog. All right. At one point of this year, to me, all right, I don't know about Warren, I don't know about Bird, I don't know about any of y'all. This was like this album carried me all the way up until, I want to say, like Gunna came out, Thug came out, all that shit. Like, this was the album that like carried it, and that's Almost Healed by Lil Durk, dog. All right,
yeah.
Almost Healed by Lil Durk is the, like, I don't know. The last album he came out with was the one with Lil Baby. So, and Warren and Bird wasn't really feeling that, John.
It was fucking like 13 songs in the same song, dog.
Yeah, but I really fucked with it. I ain't gonna lie. I like that whole project. So it's like, I was kind of looking forward to this, John. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Especially like I heard the single All My Life with J. Cole. I'm like, all right, he's kind of going in that direction, maybe, and I'm fucking with that. Like, you know what I mean? So when the project finally dropped, I was hyped, dog. And it's crazy because I always associate this project with one of the longest drives I ever took in my life. I drove like 10 and a half hours, almost. I think it was like longer than that, really. But I know we got on the road like 5 a.m, and I don't think we got down there till like maybe like almost 4 in the afternoon. I drove all the way to South Carolina, 700 miles, 600 something miles, something like that. I don't know. So I always associate that trip with this album, because I listened to it like the whole time down there to kind of let it like sit. You know what I mean? And for me, this is one of like the highlights of the year, dog. Like, I think like I'm gonna be talking about this joint come like the final podcast. It's definitely in my top 5. The project was dope. It got a lot of like unnecessary hate in the beginning, which I didn't understand, because I feel like the allegations of like, oh, every song sounds the same or the flow is the same, kind of went out the window, because he did like a lot of different things with this album. He's probably got the best fucking intro of the year. All right. One of the best, I'll say, intros of the fucking year with Pellycoat. I fucking love that song. That's probably like top 5 songs of the year, dog. Like, I'm gonna say it. Like, I love that fucking song, dog. Like, he's spitting his heart out. He letting you feel the pain. You know what I mean? But he letting you know, like, he almost healed, dog. Yeah, All My Life, of course. Put 'Em on Ice, Big Dog, Never Imagine with Future, Straight Heat. Love that song. Before Fajr, War About It. I kind of like that joint. Grandson, Same Side, 300 Euros, B12. The joint with Juice, people like that joint. Belt to Ass, I fuck with that. Stand By Me with Morgan Wallen, the alleged racist bull. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't like it at first, but I fuck with it now. Like, I ain't gonna lie, album's solid. It's a solid 7 to me, dog. I'm gonna leave it at that. It's a solid 7. And what you're gonna see as we get further into the podcast, there's not gonna be a lot of projects to get close to that, dog. There's gonna be like 3 or 4 projects to get above, either on that or above that. But a lot of shit we about to talk about is like either mid or it's below that. And I say that to say this, like, this is probably one of like my favorite projects of the year, dog. I know Warren about to shit on it.
I'm not going to shit on it, but one thing I was going to ask was I thought you said, like, you know, this was a fairly decent year, but to me, it's like this was a pretty mid-year, especially considering that we had to wait a long time before any quality had dropped. When it comes to this album in particular, I just looking back at the track list, I'm like, damn, it really was 21 songs. 57-minute long album, so it's like a full featured album, but I only saved like maybe like 4 songs from it. Mm-hmm. I really wasn't fucking with the All My Life record, but mostly because, like, you know, I you know how I feel about kids and shit, so like I don't really give a shit about that. But what's it? Big Dog, War About It, Grandson, B12. That's about it. It's like
you didn't say Belly Coat?
Nope. Like,
that's
I told you,
crazy.
You know, I told you about how I feel about Dirk and, like, you know, his style of music and everything, but that's also like that could be said the same about like Youngboy and like Kevin Gates and like other artists who just like they kind of go back and forth between being like this hard rapper to being like a sensitive thug here and there and singing and shit. Like I don't be feeling it.
Yeah, I don't be feeling that shit neither. But I do get the sentiments behind the album. Like, I understand what he was trying to accomplish with this.
Nigga, he sounded the same like any other album. So I'm like, where's the concept of it being almost healed, but you still talking about the same shit?
I think it's like more of like a deeper thing than that. It's more of like a here and now thing, because like for y'all that don't know, Dirk has been out for a grip, dog. Like, Dirk got 10 plus years in the game, dog. Like, easily 10 plus years. And it's like, Dirk is, to me, a lot of Chicago niggas have went through a lot of like trials and tribulations within their career, where it's like they were hot back then, like 2012, 2013, 14. And then 15, I think like a lot of them kind of like fell off or dissipated. And like, because like Chicago like changed. I don't know if like a lot of y'all know, but like Chicago, like music kind of changed at one point where like the drill shit wasn't like the same anymore. So it's like a lot of them like kind of had to like adapt or move on or, you know, mimic their peers or do something different.
I will say that, like, yeah, like I remember back when like the drill scene kind of like took off, we were just kind of we were like, exposed to like a whole lot of artists, like the Little Bibbies, the Lil Reese, Dirk, Herbo, like all them niggas came out like at like,
one time.
Yeah, they just kind of blew up, but then like as kind of things like change and develop, it shrunk to like, you know, the core group of people who are kind of carrying Chicago and what it is. Like you could say Dirk, and even though Keith is not dropping as much, even though like when like Almighty Soul was supposed to drop this year earlier on, but like we ain't never gonna get that.
We ain't never getting that joint, man. We ain't never getting that joint, dog. But no, I'm sad, dog. I really want that joint.
But what's it? Lil Bibby, I think, became like an executive, if I'm not mistaken. Like he's like,
yeah, he's a producer. He produced for Juice WRLD. Like,
yeah. So that was his artist. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like so he's still successful in that right and everything. Like just not being the front artist, which again, I'm happy that, like, you know, they found a lane that, like, you know, works for them and everything like that, especially considering where they're coming from and how, you know, all that shit and everything like that transpires and everything. Rest in peace, King Von.
And I think like a lot of them too have like kind of stayed true to themselves. Like G Herbo, like when I went to the Future concert, like G Herbo was there. He was one of the headliners, and like Philly was really fucking with G Herbo, dog. Like really fucking with that bull. And it's like if you really think about it, like he's not like an A-list artist or even like in my opinion, like a B-list artist. But it's like it just goes to show you like a lot of them just kind of capitalize the lane that they're in, and they still have a lot of success. Just
they have a core. They have a core.
Yeah, just because you don't see them on the Billboard top 10 or top 20 doesn't mean like they not successful. Like a lot of these Chicago rappers, dog, like they get it popping, dog. Like Vic Mensa, he's a Chicago nigga. Don't really like him, but he has a core. Like he has a fan base. And I feel like Dirk has always been one of them artists that's been like on the outline. And I think maybe like 5-6 years ago, he kind of created his core audience, because that's when I started hearing people say like, yo, like Dirk's one of my favorite artists. I'm like, damn, Dirk, the nigga that did the Like Me with Jeremiah song back in like 2004. Like you still fuck with that nigga? And then like, I think like 2019, he had like an album like Just Cause Y'all Waited or something like that. And it was like, I was like, all right, like I see why y'all fuck with this boy. And then I think him and Baby like really ran the pandemic. Like that pandemic era, like he was really doing his thing, like 2021, 2022. Like he was really doing his thing. So it's like, I think what Almost Healed, it's like one of those things where it's like, you like he finally got out the trenches, nigga. Like, and it's like now it's like
it took you 10+ years to get out the trenches, nigga.
Yeah, you see this nigga like at the all white parties with Diddy and shit, and you know he had the Rock Nation brunch and shit like that. Like nigga finally made it, dog. But he just like a nigga from the hood, man. So it's like, you know, one thing I say about this album is like I really like what he put into it, dog. Like the rawness is there. Like I feel like, damn, I'm really in the trenches with this shit. You know
when has it never been that? It's a consistent sound for Dirk. I'll give him that. So, yeah. But at the same time, like when I hear an album titled Almost Healed, I expect a modicum of some growth and diversification in the content. But it seems like, and listen, if this is your lane, and then people, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. By all means, it's just that I expected something different from an album titled Almost Healed. You know what I'm saying?
I think me too, because like the first 3 songs like set the mood. Like, all right, man, my man about to be on like some positive shit, and it's like right after that he talking about niggas getting their head blown off and all types of shit. It's just like, damn, like that took a left turn, but it's like I feel it. I feel it. It's weird, but I feel it, dog. So like I said, the 7 stays. I had to think about this one real hard. What you give it?
Probably give it a 6.5.
All right, that's like
not among my favorites, and again, it's not something that I go back to. Like, what's it? We talked about this in the previous music podcast, but like the Great Escape by your man Larry June, I still go back to that to this day. So,
yeah,
I mean,
me
like
too.
Anything that came out this year that I go back to is going to get highly rated. But if it's like it came, I listened to it then, but have generally I saved my songs, but generally no reason to like go back to it unless it's on shuffle. Then like, yeah, I'm not gonna give it any sort of like favorable review or sing its praise or anything like that.
Nah, I get it. All right, let's shit on this next album, and we're not gonna shit on it because I feel like it came out the same day as Dirk album. It's Kodak Black's Pistols and Pearls album. All right, this was like, I think a lot of from what I heard, it was a bunch of throwaways from the album before that, which was the
Cutthroat Bill.
Nah,
something came out after that.
Yeah, hell yeah. Cutthroat Bill's a fucking Back for Everything. Because Cutthroat Bill is like I think that's like a mixtape or something for like his label or some shit. That's more like
I like that shit though.
Yeah, Edge on Fire. But Back for Everything was like his last like real big studio project. And I like that album. That joint was nice. But this Pistols and Pearls joint, it's garbage. And I'm going to just leave it at that, dog. It's 21 songs, way too fucking long. It's 1 hour and 7 minutes. Way too fucking long, dog. Way too much Kodak Black. The shout out
way too much Kodak Black.
I like Dirt McGirt. I love that fucking song.
Yes, that's
fire.
my shit. And that shit's fire.
I'm not gonna lie, that was the song that made me be like, yo, this nigga ESTG kind of hard, dog.
Yo,
that nigga had me thinking, we promoting crackheads though, because that nigga said something about smoking meth, and I was like, what? Like, what is we doing out here, dog? But yeah, we're gonna get this joint like a nice little like 2 out of 10.
I give it a 3 because Dirk Major carried, and I think I'll have a Flirting with Death was my other joint too. Got that Spanish speaking nigga on that joint too. It was like 2 songs I saved from there. Dirk Major still is my shit. That shit is like bass go dumb on that shit.
That joint crazy, dog. That song, when I heard that joint, I was like, what?
The production on that is crazy, man. Like I gotta find out who produced that.
Yeah, I forget how I got put on it, but I think it was on like a playlist or something, and I heard that joint. I was like, damn, what the fuck? Yeah, that joint. Even the other nigga that's on that song went hard too.
They slid. Like, all of them slid on that joint. It was gliding on that mug.
He sound like some type of Detroit nigga, Lil Cricks. Shout out Lil Cricks, man. Shout out that nigga. But yeah, 2 out of 10 for me, man. We're gonna slide to the next joint. I'm not gonna have a lot to talk about with this joint because we're gonna get to that. Hard to Love by Moneybagg Yo, man. All right.
You bringing back shit that I forgot came out, but I did listen to this, yeah.
Yeah, Hard to Love by my boy Moneybagg Yo. So Moneybagg is an artist that I don't hate. I don't particularly like him. I feel like he sounds like every other nigga that's coming out and from Memphis. So it's just like, I don't know. I did like the last joint, the Gangsta's Pain. I like that. But this joint, man, I don't know, dog. I don't know.
You want me to summarize this album in one sentence?
Go ahead.
I said I gave up Drink and Walk, but I lied. You say it throughout the entire album. Like, you remember Gangsta's Pain? He was talking about, yo, man, I'm Waukesha and everything. He gave up drinking lean and all that kind of stuff. And this album is pretty much, yeah. You know, I said that, but you know, I lied. So I'm back on that shit. So,
like, I like the first 4 songs. Like, once we get the Ocean Spray, I just like, I don't like this. I do like Show Liz. I like that song. But other than that, I'm cool off this joint, man. Like, it's not bad though, but I give it like I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. I give it a 5, and I say it like it's like a average album from an average rapper. Like it's not bad.
I wouldn't say he's an average rapper. Moneybagg will go at times. It's just that like this album in particular just was not it. But like
I think he was playing around with the production a lot, and that's the one thing that I liked was the production was very good on this album. Like had a lot of these beats been given to like a Gunna or like a Dirk or a Baby, I think it would have been a totally different thing. But like him, it's like he be kind of lazy sometimes, dog. And his voice kind of be putting me to sleep. But the nigga hard. Like, I'm not going to say, like, the bull don't be rapping. Like, he goes. Like you said, he goes. But, like, I feel like with a lot of these albums, like, that we're going to talk about, there was another album that did it better. So I was like, I'm going to just go back to that. You know what I mean? And that's what this joint was. It's like, this shit's fire. But like Dirk did the same thing, and his shit was like better in my opinion. I don't know. You know what I mean? Your favorite rapper is your favorite rapper. Your artist that you like is your artist that you like. I mean, I like Moneybagg Yo. I love Gangsta's Pain. I thought that joint was I slept on it, but it was pretty decent. You know what I mean? But this ain't it. You know what I mean? This ain't it. This is for me at least. I mean, what about you, man? What you thinking?
I'll probably give it the same. I'm probably give it the same. Go 5. I'm literally just peeping. When did Gangsta Art 2 come out?
2022. I want to say.
No, the Gangsta Art 1 came out in 2022. There's a new one, Gangsta Art 2, that came out.
That came out last week.
Damn, I ain't peep.
Yeah, the 29th, I believe, right before Drake, all this shit came out.
Damn, I'll peep eventually because like I love me like a CMG compilation.
All I heard was the Uchiwali sample song, Glorilla and 504, and I was just like, I don't know. I was like, I like it, but I don't like it for Glorilla. I thought like she was just kind of, that ain't her type of music. She should have stayed. That's a 5 foreign ad song. Because when 5 got on that joint, I'm like, all right, this is New York.
I tell you, every single time 5 collaborates with somebody, we all got to go to his world. It's never. Only time I ever see him step out of that was with Nas, and that's it.
Yeah. And kind of, yay, man. I mean, still got one of the hardest verses of the 2020s, dog. That shit crazy, man. That shit crazy. All right, we're going to skip over this album because I want Warren to go in with this next one. I want to chill for a second. I want to stop talking because I keep hearing about this fucking album by this man, and I listened to it. I finally got around and listened to it, y'all. All right? It's called Michael by Killer Mike. If you don't know who Killer
album
Mike
of the year.
is,
Album of the fucking year, all right?
If you don't know who Killer Mike is, he an old head.
If you don't know what Killer Mike is, turn this fucking podcast off. You shouldn't even be listening to this.
You're a little too old. He's an Atlanta legend. He's literally an Atlanta legend. So I was surprised to see that this man is dropping an album in 2023. And I didn't really hear a lot of people talk about it. I heard like Needle Drop talked about it, like a couple other people talked about it. But Warren would not fucking stop. So I'm going to let him go in. I'm going to let him do his thing. Go ahead. Tell us why you think this is album of the year. Go in, dog.
From track one and all the way through, you can hear in the production, that shit just sounds expensive. Like he put in all the money to make like not just like the features, but for it to sound so pristine. Every track is a banger. Every track is nice. Every track is well put together. Okay, it's just. I can't describe the different kinds of emotions that you kind of get when you're like just going through. It's just it's soulful. It's like even the deluxe that came out too, and got the joint with what's it, Young Nudie, was it? Yep, Act Up on that joint. Oh, it's all from top to bottom, well put together. Okay, this is a quality project. You don't see anybody, at least this year, put the same level of effort into each individual track on the song like this one was. Name another album that had the same kind of like we talked about, like, you know, the Moneybagg Yo, the Lil Durk album, where they just kind of like, there were 20-some long projects, so they were just kind of loaded up with songs that they probably like few throwaways, but like let's just throw them onto the album because just to give it some like bulk. Every single song on this Michael album is quality. Every single last one of them. I saved about, and it's a total of, let me see how many songs total. Total of 14 songs. I saved about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 out of 14 songs, plus the 2 more if you want to count the deluxe. It is an incredible album. Listen, it has Andre 3000 on the album, so you can't go wrong if you have an Andre 3000 feature on there. Okay, he got Future featured on this album, Currency featured on this album. This shit is crazy. Stilo on the intro, it is crazy.
Yeah, I will say, man, the features, dog. I enjoyed the features. Like, just real quick, like
Fabo from Something for Junkies. That shit crazy. The beat change and everything was crazy.
I think Enrich is like my favorite. That's like my favorite song, dog. Like when that joint came on, I was like, yeah, this joint crazy. And it's like the features I enjoyed, dog. Like getting Andre 3000 and Future on a song together was like, whoa. Even though they both Dungeon family, if you didn't know, they both, I mean, they used to both fuck with each other. It was just like, wow, like you got these two different, it's very enjoyable, dog. I will say that much. I ain't gonna say it's like album of the year.
The reason why you won't, okay, this is where we're gonna fucking argue. Everything that you need to have some shit that you turn up to for you to consider it like roughly in the conversation for album of the year.
Yeah, I did enjoy this joint. I did enjoy this joint. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, it's like a 7 to me, dog.
You're looking at it from a place of personal preference, where I'm kind of considering it as like I'm looking at the work of art itself, and quality altogether. Like, sure, like the overall spectrum of like music that I like to listen to, this may not be above it, but like it was still an enjoyable listen, and like to give it credit for how well it was put together and how much I enjoyed the listening part of it. I'm like, yeah, it was not one dimensional. He gave you everything, and on top of that, the rapping ability amongst all these pristine beats it's just incredible to put together.
Yeah. It's like from an artist like John. That nigga slid on that John. The JID John, I really like that shit.
Anytime you put Dave Chappelle on an intro on a song, you already got me. You won. And sure enough, it's all good. All good. And on top of that, from an artist like, again, I overlooked this album because it's like a Killer Mike. I don't see myself listening to him. He was really much I was never really into the whole Run the Jewels thing either.
I was never a Run the Jewels fan. So it's like when you was like telling me about this joint, I'm like, I'm cool, man. I'm cool. But like the deluxe came out, and that's when I finally listened to when the deluxe came out, y'all. So don't kill me. But like I said, like this year has been the vibe for me has been very turn up. Like turn up. Like I like the energy we've been getting with all this trap, this turn up party, shake your ass, you know what I mean? Shoot this nigga, you know what I mean? Rob this nigga music. I've been enjoying that. You know
how many of those how many of those albums usually get like best rap album in like at a Grammy or something like that?
No, you're right. I think this joint definitely deserves a Grammy. Will it get it?
I think it depends on who. It's like when you get to like certain like nominations and whatnot, it becomes name recognition. Like I wouldn't be surprised if like For All the Dogs got fucking like won the Grammy on this, and it's like, is it a better album than this though? Yeah, I wouldn't say so.
Drake been pulling his Grammy noms like for a while now. Like, I remember the last album he pulled that shit off on some J. Cole shit.
But it wasn't good enough to be even considered to begin with. So I mean, like,
yeah. I get what you're saying. Like I said, dog, like this is like a diamond in the rough for this year. Like no lie, dog. Like this is like one of the albums that like. You really got to be in a certain mindset, and you got to be able to, like another album we're going to talk about that I'm not going to say I enjoyed it, but I appreciated the art. And that's the one thing I will say with this album. Like, I like the whole, I'm a sucker for like gospel shit. So yeah, like the choirs and shit going on, something like, all right, he kind of got me with the
choirs. I thought you would have like shed tears with Mozzie.
Yeah, I was fucking with that shit. So like, I have nothing bad to say about this genre. Real shit. I got nothing bad to say. I think it's a solid project. I'm gonna go ahead and give it like a 7.5. I'm gonna give it that little edge, 7.5, and it's gonna stay like that for me. Because looking at the track list right now, like I said, I want to say like the intro that I fucked with it, but I ain't fuck with it as hard as you. But like. Shed tears with Mozzie. I was like, this nigga got Mozzie on the fucking joint. I was like, all right, I like that. Then the Young Thug joint was heat. And like I said, the Black song was my favorite song on the joint. And summer shit, that's when it started to get like tiring for me. And then, scientists and engineers picked it back up. But I think like from track 8 all the way down to like Motherless. I did like Motherless. I wasn't fucking with it.
You didn't like Something for Junkies with Fabo?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
That one, John.
Yeah, but I love the Maynard Vinette. I think that's how you say it. That shit's fucking heat with T.I. shout. And it's like, one thing I do like is like my man was putting on for his city, dog. Like he was like just grabbing all ATL niggas.
It's Atlanta as fuck, man.
Get on this joint. And it's like you gotta appreciate that shit, dog. You getting the new legends with the old legends. It's like you gotta appreciate it, dog. It's like I said, like I got nothing bad to say about this joint. I will say, like I may have not been in the right place to listen to it, but I did get through it and I did enjoy it, and I got nothing bad to say about it. I mean, what do you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
9. It's a 9.
What takes
9.
off a point for you?
There were a few songs that I didn't say I wouldn't fuck with. I mean, like you were saying, like the whole track 8 downward and whatnot. I'm trying to think, was it track? Yeah, 2 days with title. Like I was remember listening to this album and I was going through it, and then I got the slumber thinking to myself, like, okay, this is where it's gonna slow down. And actually, once I got like halfway through the song, I was like, oh wait, I really do enjoy this song. Maybe it was like 2 days, Exit 9, and Motherless were probably the songs that were like, all right, and once we kind of got to like closer to like the end, it kind of slowed down for me. But like the overwhelming majority of this album is just, it's hard hitting quality. All right. I can't, like, it's just, it slaps. It's all good. It's all good.
I'm going to say this, right? Oh, go ahead. My fault.
I'm not going to say like, what's it? Yeah. Like when you listen to it, allow it to like, but at the same time, you're gonna get it from like track 1, so it's like it's not a matter of like allowing it to grow on you, but just like you will listen to it and be surprised at how well it's put together. Again, it sounds expensive. It sounds expensively made.
Yeah, definitely put together well. I will say this, right, and this is going forward for a lot of these albums too. The original album, the OG that dropped back in June, was 54 minutes long. The deluxe is 1 hour 8 minutes. So I just want to let y'all know that, man. Like a lot of these albums, like I'm not saying don't make it 40 minutes, because I think 50 minutes is like the good run time for these albums. But like I think that's the vein a lot of these artists need to stay around. Like some of these albums are starting to get like a little too long, and it's like you're not giving me enough substance to be 21 songs long. Like we're going to talk about later on in the podcast. Like a lot of these albums, it's like it just seems like you're just throwing shit at the wall, hoping that TikTok or somebody else it sticks, dog. And it's like, we going to talk about that too. Like
we in a sad era.
Yeah, we're like, this is like, and just to get this out the way too, moving forward, this is the lowest like hip hop has ever been. Like for real. Cause like, we didn't chart until Paint the Town Red with Doja Cat like 2 weeks ago with a number 1. This is the first year, and I think like I don't know how long that there hasn't been a number 1 hip hop song, and it took until Doja Cat came out with like the most TikTok ass song. Cause I can't stand that song, dog. I can't. I don't think it's a bad song. We gonna get to that. We definitely gonna get to that. I don't think it's a bad song, but it's like we're in an era where it's like I said, you're just throwing shit at a wall to see if it sticks, to see if TikTok fuck with it, to see if like the airwaves are gonna, because radio's dead. Let's just be honest with you. Streaming is like the full run. So it's like with streaming being so fast food, this album is actually like one of those joints where you appreciate it because it's like Warren said, it's like a work of art. Sounds expensive. Production was with the value in the production alone is to be appreciated. Like this ain't for TikTok. This ain't for, this is for the real hip hop niggas, dog. I'm just gonna put it like that. So like I said, we about to really grind up a lot of these. Like I'm about to start grinding up a lot of these albums because like I said, we're in this era where it's just like, again, if TikTok ain't fucking with it, if it's not able to be devoured and spit back out within a week and all that shit, then it's just like, I feel like a lot of these albums don't get the time to grow anymore. Like,
can we talk about something real quick? Because I'm glad you brought up the whole, the music these days being made for like a TikTok era and all that kind of stuff. Can we talk about how lazily much of these artists that we hear, especially on these TikTok songs, when it comes to sampling? Because that shit is frustrating. It is frustrating as hell.
Listen, we're going to talk about that. We're literally going to talk about that very soon, dog. Very soon. Like I said, like this, we're in a very sad era of hip hop, but it's also like a very interesting area because we could go anywhere again. Like this is like this feels like 2008 again, 2009, where it's just like we can either go the dance route, the pop route, this, that.
Oh, right,
you know what I
mean? Right.
Like, shit can go anywhere right now,
Remember when every song used to be a fucking dance? That was wild.
Dog.
That was a
wild
time.
Teach me how to jerk. Like, I feel like we're like at that point again where it's like, but it's like TikTok has literally just ruined music. And like, maybe we'll talk about that on like a different podcast because we got a lot to talk about. And you're going to see a lot of albums suffer from that. We're gonna get to that. I mean, but let's move on to one of my favorites of the year, dog. Let's get into it, dog. And that's going to be an album I did not think was going to come out this year, and it's called A Gift and a Curse by Gunna, dog. Now, if you don't know who Gunna is, Gunna was recently incarcerated. He got caught up in the YSL, RICO, and he took a plea deal, you know what I mean? He got out. And niggas called him a rat, and now it's like a complete 180. People on his dick again. He went and sold out the Barclay. He went and sold out the Barclay.
Slaps, dog.
Listen, dog, I'm trying to tell you. Like, all right, let me get it. This is one of my favorite albums, if not my top 3 of the year. This the one, dog. When this joint dropped. I didn't even know it dropped. Like, I'm just chilling at work. It
was a surprise drop. It was a surprise drop.
Yeah. So I see this shit. I'm like, damn, Gunna bold as shit. So I peeped the track list. I'm like, he ain't got no features. I'm like, this joint about to be strange, right? Track 1, back at it. I was like, oh my God, yo. I'm like, oh, he talking that shit. Like, we about to, no, we really going to dissect this album because there's just like he said, there is literally a gift and a curse with this album, dog. And I ain't even trying to be corny. There's like a gift and a curse to this album, dog. Like, this shit starts off incredibly strong, dog. Back at it, Back to the Moon, top 5 songs of the year, dog. I fucking love Back to the Moon, dog. That nigga was rapping like there were bills to be paid, dog. Like there was bills to be paid.
This nigga was rapping for his life, all right?
I was like, yo, dog. He is rapping like it's like, I remember explaining it to Warren when I shared the album in our little group chat. I was like, the album's weird because what I've always loved about Gunna is the production. Like DS4 production was crazy. He don't got none of them niggas no more. He don't got Weezy.
He got nobody.
Nobody. And it's like, he still turned up off of like YouTube beats, dog. These are like YouTube beats, dog. Yeah. Like, if you really think about it, these are YouTube beats.
Yo. Like, this man had to like.
Moon, dog. I was like, yo, I gotta run this back. Then I don't know no more. It came on. I was like, all right, this is cool. But like, then Payback came out and then they was talking that shit. He's like, yo, I was like, yo, this man talking that shit. What he say? He said, it's gonna feel like it's Payback. Haters let us say that. I was like, all right. And they this baby and you know what I mean, this Dirk and all them. And I was like, yo, talk your shit. Cause I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, niggas be trying like the ball soft. He said that in the first song. Like, I ain't playing around. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't come to play the fuck around, dog. Cash shit is like the most Gunna sounding song on the album. I really don't fuck with it like that. And then y'all know what I'm about to do.
Once fuck you mean comes on, you knew. And it was like, dog, this nigga did that. This nigga out here.
That joint came on. And I was like, oh, this nigga on one.
This
now
nigga
listen.
Maybe that one a year. What the fuck is this nigga on, dog?
Now listen, right? I listened to the album in order. So when Fuck You Mean ended and Rodeo Drive came on, that transition was so fucking clean, dog. I was like, yo, who is behind this magic, dog? Who is behind this shit? Who is behind this shit, dog? When I heard that Rodeo Kings, Rodeo's my favorite song on the album. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Back to the Moon and then Rodeo, I must say. Back to the Moon being my favorite. But that transition, like I can't listen to Rodeo without listening to Fuck You Mean first. Because that transition is so fucking clean, dog. And we're right back on Rodeo. It's like, damn, dog. Like, you ain't even give the beat a second to like pick up, dog. The nigga already spit like he got bills to pay. Like he got niggas to bail out. Like he got, like Doug is eating off this joint, and I know he is. I know he is, dog. You know what I mean? And it's like the rest of the album, I won't lie. Like Bottom is okay. P Angels, I really like P Angels. Bottom is good, but P Angels is really good. Born Rich is all right. Go Crazy's cool. Bread and Butter was the single, and I fucked with it. I still fuck with it. Turn Your Back is like a cool little chill joint. It's like, I mean, if I was like a weed smoking nigga, I'd play that joint, man. You know what I mean? I was just thinking it's good. And then All Right is a really good motherfucking. I ain't gonna lie. I lied when the first time I heard All Right, dog. I ain't gonna lie. I cried, dog. I heard that little, it's like a breath of fresh air. I'm like, oh my God, dog. Like this, what is this shit? I'm gonna just tell y'all right now, this album is a 9, dog.
Good. It's fucking good.
It's a 9.
It's fucking good.
I'm giving it a 9, dog. This joint carried the summer for me easily, dog. And I'm not even like a Gunna fan. Like I didn't even really start fucking with Gunna till like DS4 came out. You know what I mean? So it's just like this shit was heat, dog. I was thoroughly surprised. The production, the shit sounds good in headphones. Shit sounds good in your car. And it's just like I said, my man rapping like he got bills to fucking pay, dog. And you just love to see it from like these younger niggas that like people just be like, oh, he just be mumbling. But like real quick before I let Warren get into it, the gift and the curse with this joint is we ain't gonna sell it. We ain't gonna sell it a different way, Gunna. Like at the end of the day, he trying to like with the song turn your back on me and shit. Like, dog, like you broke a street code. You rock with street niggas. You know street niggas is feeble-minded. They think one fucking way, dog. You should have knew niggas were gonna turn they back on you, but it's like, you know what I mean? Gunna ain't never gonna listen to this album. Keep doing this podcast. Keep doing what you're doing. Fuck them niggas, because every nigga that's doubted him, every nigga that went against him, dog. Dog. What is Dirk's album to this joint? That's why I had to give him a 9 and give Dirk a 7. Like, you know what I mean? And Baby, like, come on, Baby, like. He can't even talk, dog. Like I said, solid album, solid production, even if it sounds like it's from fucking YouTube. I hope you street niggas learn that, like, to us regular niggas, civilian
niggas.
You know what I mean? None of that shit means nothing, dog. Like, if the project good, the project good. You know what I mean? You over here trying to stick them, like, weird morals and shit. You know what I mean? And this nigga out here getting a bag and selling out the Barclays. Like, it's crazy, dog. Keep winning, Gunna, dog. I appreciate this album, dog. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. One of my favorites of the year, hands down, dog. Gift and the Curse.
I mean, I told you, I mean, we've covered DS4 on this podcast before, and I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of it, of course. I told you this before. But I do appreciate Gunna and his artistry and whatnot. But to see this album come out and be of this quality, I mean, you gotta really, when you think about it, like the lack of resources that this man had to work with. We were last like, commending Killer Mike for the kind of production and the features and all the things that he had at his disposal to generate such a quality album. Meanwhile, Gunna did all this with. This nigga, like, he got that shit out the fucking mud to create an album of this when you have literally, this nigga had no friends. This nigga has no friends.
There's no features on the album.
Absolutely.
The only feature he got is QP Ski going, yeah, on there. That's it. That's all he got. That's the only feature you can say he got on the whole project, dog.
Like, literally having to find beats wherever he can, and just like to be able to conjure up all this. Like they said, like you were saying, this nigga was rapping like the bills needed to pay. This nigga was rapping like his career depended on it, and it did. This nigga was rapping like this. If this shit don't go, I'm over. I'm done. And he's right. All right. Considering all the negative backlash this man has gotten, given the whole circumstances and everything that I won't speak on because one, I don't care, and two, I'm not qualified to speak upon them. But anywho, the label's looking at you like, okay,
street niggas.
Fair enough. Yes. The label's looking at you like, all right, okay, we're still investing our money in you, but we got to see that it's going to be worth it. Otherwise, we're going to have to drop you because all this is not looking good for your image and all that. Nobody's going to be willing to work with you or all that stuff. Like, so if you're going to drop something, you got to be right. And he knocked that shit out the fucking park. Like, you gotta applaud a man whose back is against the wall and the pressure's getting to him, and he has nobody that he can turn to, and is able to put forth an album of this kind of quality. Like, you gotta give it up for Gunna. This is definitely, again, next to the Killer Mike's album, should be up there in Grammy nominations as well, because like I told you, I did not like DS4 like that. This right here, so much better. So much better. And considering that he's not working with like Metro Boomin, Zaytoven, Mike Will, or anything like that. No grade A producers who can like do all sorts of things and like engineer his beats to the point where it's like, yo, no, this nigga had to do this shit himself. And if this is what you're able to do by yourself, I want people to think about that when they're listening to this. Like, this nigga did this all himself.
Yeah,
to create a hit like Fuck You Mean, just off your own. Dog, I can't. I'm just gonna go straight to my rating. I give this an 8. This is an 8. This is a fantastic album. This is a fantastic album. It's more than just solid. Like, for all that this man has gone through, and for him to put out something like that should not be slept on. And for him to go back to touring and sell out the Barclays, it's like, yeah, listen, niggas don't give a fuck about that street shit. They just give a shit about the slaps at the end of the day, okay? Yeah. That's just the painful honesty of it. And I hope you street niggas who think that, commending to the code is going to translate to album sales. I'm sure you might be good amongst your peers, but is that bringing you bread, though? Because this nigga, what's it gonna be eaten? Gonna be eaten. All right. He can now rest and take his time for whatever may come next for him. Because it's like, I don't know how he's gonna be able to follow up something like this, but like, just to know that he's done something like this, it's monumental for his career, for sure.
Yeah, dog. And I want to say this too, because I know a lot of people are gonna be they're gonna be shocked by a lot of my ratings on this podcast. Like, I've given this the highest so far. It's a 9. And while there are skippable songs on it, I want to say this: the highs way outweigh the lows on this album. So that's why I give it a 9. Like, the highs are highs, dog. They are very high. And the lows are like, it's not bad, but it's like, it's all right. I mean, it's all right. I mean, yeah, dog. It's going to stay at a 9 for me. Let's talk about this next one briefly because we got to get through this list, baby. All right. We got Coi Leray with her. I think this is like her first big album. This might be like her first like real studio albums. I think everything else was like an EP or something. I may be wrong about that. I don't be following her like that. But I got put on this joint and I was like, all right, I'm going to peep it. It's called Coi by Coi Leray. If you don't know who Coi Leray is, she's a real skinny girl. She be talking about her pussy, and it's cool with me. I be fucking with it. I be fucking with it. Yeah, I be fucking with it. So, this album, right? It's sorry, man. Sorry. Like, I mean, for the ladies, it's good. There's a couple songs on there that kind of go. You know, Coi, I feel like she got like club bangers. Like, she had the little like club song last year with Players. I think it's called Players. Like, this is just like a bunch of club songs. Like, I mean, for girls that like scream "yer" and smoke hookah to and shit. It's
like pretty scream "yer."
Yeah, it's dope, y'all. Like, it's dope in that perspective, but like, it ain't for me. so I ain't going to like go too like crazy about it or nothing like that, obviously. But I'm going to just go over to look at the track list real quick. I liked Players, obviously. I like Get Loud. That joint, everybody like Get Loud. That song's really good. Run It Up is good. And I think that's it, dog. I think that's it for this joint. It's not bad. It was a cool little listen. I'm going to give it like a 4. I'm going to give it like a little solid little 4. You know what I mean? And that's not bad for her. That's like below average. You know what I mean? She's a below average artist to me. Nothing like that. Yeah, she's not, dog. She hasn't put anything out of like substance to make me be like, damn, like when the next Coil Ray coming out? Like I ain't checking for her like that. I just was bored and needed something to listen to, and this was there, so I listened to it. All right. What do you think about this genre?
I have the complete opposite thought of you.
Whoa.
I think we talked about this too. I like this. I like this project a lot, actually. Granted, a majority of it isn't necessarily like for me, so I don't have anything saved from it, of course. But like, you know, this is again me judging it for its artistry and everything. I think Koi is a star. I think she put her best foot forward when it came to putting up this. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
she got bops.
Ear for music. Yeah, she got ear for music.
She got bops. All right, listen. Make My Day is a pretty dope song. Like, what's it? I mean, Players.
Shit, the song Bops is pretty good.
That's what I'm saying. What's it? No Angels with Lola Brooke and everything. It's a good, like, it's a pretty good, well put together song. I'm like, you said, like, there's club bangers on there and everything like that. So it's like, I appreciate, you know, her ear for music, her style, and everything like that. I was like gladly surprised at the output and quality of this project.
Yeah, me too. It was a nice little listen. Like I said, I still think out of those 4 songs, it's like what, like 16 tracks long. Like, it's 16 tracks. Like I was cool. I was cool.
Damn, it was like only a half-hour listen. So I mean, like, hey.
Yeah, I listened to it and was like, all right, we won't do that again. But it wasn't like bad or anything. It wasn't like, man, fuck this joint. Like, I mean, but yeah, dog. What do you rate it?
6.
That's fair. That's fair. Like I said, I think she's below average. You think she's a little above average. That's cool.
As far as like the quality of this album, I think she has a lot more like wiggle room to kind of diversify herself. Like she can go into a pop lane, dance lane, all that kind of stuff. Because like, and I think she kind of like prefaced that with like her previous works where she was a bit more experimental. So I appreciate her artistry. And it's like, damn, you wouldn't have thought that this is Benzino's daughter we're talking about. She's fantastic.
Yeah. She's got a EP that came out like a month ago. We'll talk about on the next podcast. But yeah. That's Koi by Coil Ray. All right, his next one, all right. It's going to be sad, dog. Slime, please forgive me. Slime, please forgive me,
dog.
I
know what you're going to next. Oh, Lord.
Slime, please forgive me, dog. But we're going to talk about this next album, which is an album I was really, after coming off a Gunna album, I was like, this is going to be a fucking hit, dog. It's going to be a hit. Slime, please forgive me. Business is Business by Young Thug. If y'all don't know, Young Thug is another nigga roped up. He is King Slime. All right. He is the ringleader of the YSL Rico joint. He's still up in there. Free Slime, dog. Really free that nigga. Real shit. Free that nigga. But he dropped an album while he was behind bars, all executively produced by my guy Metro Boomin. All right. And man, the quality was hurt on this joint. All right. By him being behind bars, you know, like a lot of these songs are old. So they probably like ripped verses and, you know, mixed different beats and stuff, or, you know, just did certain things to it where it just kind of hurt the overall quality of the album. And it doesn't necessarily, it's not Thug's fault. Like, he could give us like After I listened to this album, right, I immediately went back and listened to Punk. And I don't know what I gave Punk, like, rating-wise, when we did that podcast, but, like, Punk to me is like a 8.5 as of right now. Like, Punk is like a really well put together, strange ass album by Young Thug. It's strange because it's like, I even remember the first time I listened to it, like going into it, you thought like, all right, we're gonna get like so much fun vibes, maybe like my man gonna be spitting, and it was just like, it's a very like, you had no idea what direction was gonna go into it. Like, die slow, like the shit was just like, you know, you got the guitar riffs, it was really slow, and like, you know what I mean? So like with this album, it's like, we know we weren't gonna get anything conceptual or anything like deep or like, you know, anything, you know what I'm saying? Because he's behind bars.
Yeah.
So when that happened, I immediately knew what they was going to do. They was going to take a bunch of half verses, slap them on songs, and have a feature carry up on the other part of it, right? Some of these songs you could tell was already like done up. They were done before. They may have not have made it on an album and stuff like that. But damn, this joint suffered from him being behind bars, dog. So we got Parade in Cleveland, which is clearly like I don't know what's up with this song, dog. Like I didn't hear anybody like really talk about what it was, but it's like clearly this was made like production of the album. So this wasn't like a song that Drake and Thug already did. This was something that they did for the album. You know, Drake was singing on the intro, and then there's like a little interlude in the beginning where he calls up Thug in jail. And then it's like, we get this weird verse where it feels like, no lie, it almost feels like he's spitting a verse over the phone and they try to like clean it up, or it was AI. It was like one of the two, dog. Because it literally sounded like he was like talking like he was out of jail. It was like Spider Bat. You know what I mean? It was like, and then the song Fire. I was like, damn, this shit kind of heat. You got Money on the Dress is pretty good. Gucci Grocery Bag. I love that song. Cars Bring Me Out. That's like a throwaway Thug and Future song. I don't like it. Don't like it. You could tell it's just a throwaway. I don't like it, dog. With the Racks is nice. That was the song you could tell was like, yeah, I mean, it was already done up. They already finished that. Uncle M is heat. Uncle M is heat. That feels like it was a superheroes and villains throwaway. Abracadabra, you could tell was like like, yo, Travis, get on the end of this joint. Went Through It is pretty good. Oh, You Went is clearly a song that like Metro was like, yo, Drake, come hop on this joint. He got, Spider got an album coming out while he locked up. You know what I mean? Get on this joint. He got on it. You know what I mean? It was pretty cool. Want Me Dead, I don't like. Hellcat Kenny, people love that song. It's all right. Mad Dog is fire. Jonesboro is fire. And the last two songs I could care for. But now you got to think this album does have like two different deluxes, dog. It's got like a Metro's version where like the songs are flipped around. Like Jonesboro is the intro instead of Parade on Cleveland and stuff. And then you got like what is supposed to be like the deluxe, I guess. It's got like two more songs. It's got a Nicki and Juice WRLD song on there, which is fucking fire. It's called Money. It's fucking fire. Like, you could tell like that's like an old Juice WRLD verse that they just kind of like plucked in the song. Nicki's verse is pretty fire. Good song, dog, all around. I fucked with it, dog. Thug's verse was good. Yeah, the quality of this album kind of like really just kind of hurt from him being locked up. Not going to say it's his fault, but this is a painful listen, dog. Like it was hurt. It like hurt me to listen to this joint, but I'm going to give it a 6, dog. And I know people going to kill me for this. Some people going to agree, but I'm going to give it a 6, dog. Like I was really hurt by it. And it's like, it's not his fault, dog. It's not his fault, but it's a 6, dog. It's a 6. And it ain't no higher, no less than that. You can't say that this album is any better than like Almost Healed by Dirk but you can't say it's any worse than like Kodak Black's pistols and pearls. Like, I mean, it's a 6, dog. What do you think, Warren?
Probably go even lower than that, because if there's one word I would describe, if there's one word I would use to describe this album, it's just forgettable. But like again, like you were saying before, we can't blame
forgettable. Yeah,
we can't blame Thug for this, because this is a bunch of throwaway things that they had just lying around the vault that just kind of pieced together just to give us an album. So it's like,
we're not no A&R on this, no like probably like direction. Like they probably called him and was like, "Yo, we doing this, that, and the third. You want to put this on there? How you feel about that?"
Like, I'm not gonna like judge Thug's artistry based off of this album and everything like that. I guess like it's our fault for having such high expectations, but it's like we understand what this was. I mean, like this man's in jail, so it's not like he can do anything about it. So it's like,
yeah, facts. No nigga in jail's ever dropped a. I don't know. I gotta think about that.
Gucci Man.
I was about to say that's like the only nigga that probably dropped to something of, because Trap House 3 is fucking. And that nigga was incarcerated when Trap House 3 came out.
Was he out when Trap God came out?
Nah, that's another one. Yeah, damn.
Trap God is legendary, dog. That is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be.
But I mean, like,
we might have to do that for the album retrospective, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Put that on the list. But what's it? I mean, listen, this is like, this will not be any poor reflection on Thug or his music or anything like that. We get it, all right? So, like, is Thug losing any followers or any fans or anything? Listen, I'm still riding off the high of So Much Fun, which to me is my favorite Thug project.
Yo, so good. So good.
It is so fucking good. It is so good. And, like,
so much fun.
It was so much fun, yeah. But that will forever, like, you know, like keep Thug in like positive regard in mind. And on top of that, his features have been hot too as well. So it's like, listen, if or when Thug ever makes it out or anything like that, we'll be looking forward to the next project from that man. But until then, like, listen, like this was not it. This was not it, and that's not Thug's fault.
Hopefully, we get a Punk 2, because like I ain't gonna lie. Like to see Thug in that vein where it's like he did the My Beautiful Thugger Girls mixed with like So Much Fun, because that's what the album is. Like he had like J. Cole on like a song and they were like rapping and singing and shit. Like Punk was good, dog, but like this ain't it, dog. Like this ain't it. Even with Metro's production and direction, this just was not it, dog. This was not it.
Yeah.
Now, real quick, what do you rate this?
What?
This album?
Well, then I said it's like a 3.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't remember if we talked about the Metro Boomin Spider-Man soundtrack album.
Well, we didn't, but I did like that. That's a good soundtrack.
Yeah, I didn't listen to it.
What's it like? I will give like my brief like 2 cents on it is like, again, I actually remember asking myself a while ago, like, you know, what would it be like if DJ Khaled did like a concept album? But then I realized like, oh wait, concept albums that are like compilations are just soundtracks. Basically, pretty much that's what we got with the Spider-Man piece. And like, yeah, every song kind of tried to like fit in some sort of like Spider-Man related thing in there and whatnot. Let me pull up the track list.
Yeah, like the ASAP Rocky joint was lit. I like that shit. I like that joint.
Let me see here. There we go. Spider-Man. What was it? Oh, the ASAP Rocky joint, Am I Dreaming? Oh, that was fire. And the Offset and JID joints fire too. Those were the 2 songs.
Annihilate was good too. I like that.
Yeah, listen, I have no qualms with any of the songs or anything like that. It was a really well put together soundtrack. If anything, I forgot what came out that same day that was also fairly hyped, but I preferred listening to this than that album.
Yeah, Self Love was the song that gave Coyle Ray her little shine to drop that Koi album, because everybody was fucking with that joint. Yeah, it was all right. I give this joint like a nice little 6 too. Maybe like a 5. I give it a 5. Because I didn't really listen to it like that. I kind of skipped around it.
Yeah, I give it like a 5, 6. 5'5", 5'6".
All right, let's go in on this next album because we about to go in on this, John. Now, I know it's gonna be just me. I know Warren ain't listening to this, and this is Pink Tape by Lil Uzi Vert.
Absolutely
and
not.
I hope my young boys is listening because I'm about to grind this joint of sawdust.
Go off.
Yeah, I'm gonna briefly too, because like I feel like Uzi owed me money, dog, for making me listen to this shit. An hour and 34 minutes, dog.
Damn.
This nigga owe me money, dog.
Oh shit.
This nigga owe me money. Now, there's bangers on this joint, but the problem with Uzi, dog, and the problem with a lot of these niggas, like we said early on in the podcast, TikTok. I feel like TikTok hurt the shit out this album, dog, because he had a banger with Just Wanna Rock, right? He had a banger with that. I love that song. I fucking love that. I love it.
Can we just get this out the way though? Like anybody that's ever claiming that that's like the Philly anthem needs to leave Philly.
I fuck with it, dog. I fuck with Uzi.
You can fuck with a song. You can fuck with it. Just don't call it the Philly anthem.
Like his last album that we got was in 2020 with him and Future with Pluto X Baby Pluto. That's the last time we saw Uzi, dog. And the last time we saw Uzi solo was Eternal Take, which I fucking loved Eternal Take. I thought that shit was so good. So it's like, I was kind of hyped for Pink Tape. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was hyped. He dropped a little EP, like what was that when he dropped the EP? It was a while back, but he dropped a little EP for the tape. It was called like Red and White Tape or something like that. And I was fucking with that. But then like this shit comes out and there's like zero direction. Like I ain't gonna lie, the album starts up good, like Flooded My Face, regular Uzi vibes, Suicide Doors. My man was talking his shit. Hey, people love that song by Travis Scott. I just started fucking with it. It's all right. And then I feel like the album falls off. I like some of the weird songs like X2. I do like that song. Spin Again's good. That Fire's all right. Endless Fashion is probably the best song on the album with Nicki Minaj. It's got the I'm blue, da-da-da-da. It's got that sample. Not sample, but it's like that's the flow that he goes with. And I really like that, right? I really like that. But this is when the album takes a complete drop in like from track 11 all the way to track 16, or track 15, because that's I Just Wanna Rock. I wasn't fucking with it. Like Nakamura is like, it was cool for like the first day and then it got annoying. Fire Alarm it's all right. It's a good little turn up song. Sounds like some shit like Vampires Dance to and shit. Like really like the thing that annoys me a lot of these songs are just him going on like a bunch. It's just weird, dog. It's weird. And then from like Fire Alarm and niggas gonna kill me all the way to the end, it's garbage, dog. It's garbage. I'm not fucking with this heavy metal Uzi shit. Like, I'm not fucking with it, dog. Like, you not Lil Wayne. Like, at least with Lil Wayne, I fucked with it a little bit when he did the little rock joint or Rebirth. It was cool. It was cool.
One, but all right.
I fucked with it. It was all right, man.
It was terrible. He was not fucking with it.
Nigga, this shit was worse, dog. The rock shit on this joint was worse. Like, yeah, Bring Me the Horizon. I'm a white boy a little bit. I like rock music a little bit. I was thinking that joint was going to be heat. That shit was garbage, dog. I'm like, how you get a whole band on this joint? It's dog. And like, I'm not going to say I didn't like the album, but like people were really dick riding this album. Like it was something like, oh my God, this is an 8, this is a 9. This is a solid 5, dog. 5. And that's, I could go lower, but that's the highest I can go with it, dog. It is average. And to Lil Uzi, like, it's even lower than that. Like, this is like his worst album to me. And I'm not even like the biggest Uzi fan, but this is like his worst album to me, dog. Eternal Take clears, dog. Clears this shit, dog. All right.
You may say that, but listen, I mean, he has a core. That's all. That's going to be my response.
What he's trying to do with this album is, you could tell, not to cut you off, but you could tell TikTok. Just Wanna Rock was a TikTok anthem. Like, it ran TikTok for months. So it's like, again, like, you could tell a lot of the vibe of this was just TikTok. We gotta get this shit on TikTok. It's gotta get on TikTok. So it's like,
Let me ask you this though: can we blame the artist for something like this when this is the pathway to success in today's era? It's less about like,
man.
It's less about like, listen, like, yeah, sure, like it like may go against my artist, but this is what it means to be successful today. So listen, especially when you're signed to a label, you have label obligations. That's the unfortunate aspect of also the fact that we're not in the mixtape era anymore, where you can get an album and it's like the album has all the songs that, like, you know, the label wants, the club banger, the song for the ladies, all that kind of stuff. We hit all these key points, whereas when I would drop my mixtape, this is the music that I really want to produce, and it was straight to the source, right to the fans, and you can get like this complete and total raw music that I'm not trying to make just to appease like some sort of quotas or anything like that. The label is expecting for me to drive up numbers and whatnot. We're in a space right now where the mixtape's dead. Everything that's being put out right now needs to drive up some sort of number or be monetized to some degree, and the only way to do it is less through your artistry and more along the lines of how it's going to get it to trend on TikTok, or what's going to be the thing that's going to be, you know, in clubs or on Instagram or whatever, being background music to somebody else's shit or whatever. So it's like, yeah, we're in this unfortunate space right now. And I think that also plays into the whole, the sampling thing, where it's like, people are lazily grabbing samples from like hit songs, where sampling used to be about like, you know, we're digging into crates to find very obscure things to fit into a song that you would never have expected was coming from a song that you've probably never heard of. Now it's like, oh, you're liking this because it's remnants of a song that we all collectively already like, and that to me is kind of cheap, and it just devalues the quality of the music.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we're just in a weird era with music, dog, and it's like these, as we'll talk about with the last album we're going to talk about on this podcast, which y'all probably already know what it is. It seems like nobody's safe from this plague, dog. Nobody's safe from it. And I think with Uzi, and I think with a lot of these young niggas, like they are really the future of hip hop right now. Like, they are it. Like, they are the sound that everybody's trying to captivate, trying to get right now. But this ain't it. This ain't the sound that I want people to captivate and go on, because I know Uzi can do better. Like, apparently he's dropping like Barter 16, which is like his take on like Young Thug's Barter 6, and like the little like snippets I've heard, I was like, yo, this could be heat. Like, my man trying to act like Thug, just like how he tried to act like Future. And I think it'll work. I think it'll be good. I just need Uzi to just be a little bit more consistent, man. Like, this project is weird, man. It's like, it's hard to listen to, dog. Like, and like, if I was just to hit play, like, and just let it go, it's like, I can't, dog. Like, I'll be like, man, turn this shit off, dog. Like, yeah, so it's like a 5, dog. If I'm being fair, it's really like a 4.5, but I'm being fair. I'm giving it a 5, dog. We're gonna move briefly through these next like 2. Been One by Rallo Rodriguez. He's the guy who did the Who This For. You know what I mean?
Heard about features, but never really listened to an album of his.
Yeah, I listened to it. It was all right. I give it like a 3. It's all right. Like, I give it a 4, dog. He's like below I ain't gonna give him lower than Coil Ray, dog. So he's like 4. He's like below average on this album. He's better on features than he is by himself. But he did go in on this joint, so I can't say he was like bad or nothing. Like, it's like a 4, dog. Like a 4. I give it a 4. What about you, man?
Didn't listen to it, so NA for me.
All right. Yeah. All right. Next joint we got, I don't know if Warren listened to this one, but this is Hood Hottest Princess by Sexy Red.
Nope, did not listen to this one.
She got me in a chokehold, baby.
She got the whole street in the chokehold, man. She listening. Like, more power to her.
Not gonna lie, dog. Sexy Red is. I like her talking about her pussy, man. I like it, even though her little. We shouldn't probably talk about it on the podcast, but her little sex tape leaked on Instagram.
That's unfortunate. Nobody deserves that.
Yeah, nobody deserves that. But I did see it, and
listen. No. You said you were going to talk about it on the podcast. Moving on.
Pussy pink and the booty hole is brown. No, I can confirm. I can confirm. but yeah, she got the streets in a chokehold, man. Like the women love her. I know niggas love her on the low. I'm gonna come out and say I fuck with her, dog. I fuck with the rawness of her. She just raw and real, and she fun. And
we want to see that these days. It's an authenticity that, like,
man.
Like I was mentioning before in the beginning, we were in a space right now where, like, there's the rapstress where it's just like she has this like superstar aura about them, where it's like when you have characters like the Glorrillas, the Sexy Reds, the Sukianas, and all that kind of stuff, it just seems like they're just so real. That's the people that you see down the block, and it's like it's very relatable. That's the motto for the up and coming female artists that are like dominating this space in this current space right now. It's the relatability of it. Yeah.
The thing is, though, I will say, like, she's kind of detrimental. Like, I mean, it's just where she's from. She got like a very detrimental thinking. So I've been watching a lot of her, like, besides the album, I've been watching a lot of her, like, interviews and stuff. Like, she did an interview with Yachty and them. She did an interview with what's his name? Funny Marco. And she did an interview with somebody else. And it's like, you could just think, I don't know if, like, that's just like her train of thought, or it's just like what she's told to say, or the image that she's trying to uphold. She got like a really like bad way of thinking that I hope a lot of women don't think. And I ain't even trying to like knock her or nothing like that. She's raw in that sense, and I love that about her. Like, 'cause she's her, and where she's from is who she is. But it's like I said, like with this recent like sex tape thing, right? It's like you just letting like niggas just like fuck you and record you and it's like it just be, you could tell like they dirty niggas at the same time, like St. Louis ass niggas. It's just like she really needs like the right people around her, because again, like,
but like I think you're coming at it from the perspective of like, okay, now you up, so it's time to start moving right. And I think a lot of her, her shit now is like, she's still in like somewhat of the infancy of her, like, you know, ascendancy, and I'm still kind of like, I don't see that changing much from her, because like, again, a lot of what people gravitate towards is that, like, listen, she's unapologetically ratchet. Similar to Glorilla, you are unapologetically ratchet, and with that comes some lack of maturity and some sensibilities that you on the outside would not agree with. So it's kind of like this, all right?
I need to get it together, though, man.
We can't have certain aspects of an artist that we admire and cherish and be like, oh, okay. I'll give you an example, and this is the one that kind of bothered me the most. But remember when Cardi B first came out? Yeah. And white women loved them some Cardi B, talking about, oh, she's my spirit animal, and like, you know, how raw she would be, and like how she comments on things in a certain type of way that's just so unconventional from the polished artist and how they're supposed to be saying things and whatnot, right? And in my head, I'm just like, that just seems like a fetishization of how black people typically act and you only like it in given settings, but like when they're presented like that in front of you and like how they genuinely are, you condemn them. And that's the thing that kind of always bothered me. Like the same white women who would be like, oh, Cardi B is my spirit animal. And it's be like, you deal with Cardi B's every day, but you hate them and you call them ghetto and you just don't want to like associate with them. But you see this person doing it on TV and it's like, it's cute to you all of a sudden. I don't want people to treat Sexy Red like that. We're just like, listen, if you understand that, like, you understand that ratchet women will do some things that may be detrimental because, like, they're still in that mentality. You appreciate them for like who they are and like what they are, and like hopefully you'll leave them for growth will eventually come naturally to them, hopefully. But if this is the persona and the artist that you like are coming to expect, then like you have to expect that all these things that will come along with that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not lying. Like I said, dog, like I say that from a place of like, I want her to win, dog. I want her to win. And I think like she's got staying power. She's definitely got staying power. I just need her, like she was on fucking Drake new album, and that was like crazy to me.
Let me ask you though, like, is her that staying power motivated by this particular image that she's portraying, or do you see her developing somewhat as an artist into becoming? Because at a certain point, she will like if she wants some staying power, she will have to develop that polished artist feeling. Similar to like Cardi B is not the same person she was when she first got on.
Hell no. Hell no.
So if you're gonna, but she got some people surrounded by her to eventually push her into a direction to be like, all right, if you want longevity in this, this is the way you're going to have to move, which kind of teeters along the lines of, okay, you're this person, but at the same time, you're not this person like all the fucking time. You're not on live every 5 seconds cursing out people left, right, and center, you know? Like, you can't keep moving like that if you're going to be a star.
Yeah. I think the difference is Cardi's more of like a machine. She's more of a machine and she's got things behind her. I think with Sexy Red, like, again, like, even listen to this project, right? It feels very, like, kind of like Gunna's album. Like, you just kind of, like, she had Tay Keith do a lot of the production on it, but it just seemed like you just kind of threw this thing together. Y'all got it together and put it out there, and people was fucking with it, like the Pound Town.
Listen. Everybody gonna sound like that when they coming out the mud. The saying is always, you have your entire life to come up with your debut album. Where is she gonna follow up with this? How is she gonna grow into the artist that is going to stay around for long? Because at a certain point, at a certain point, like, this may be working for her now, but what if people get tired of it? What if people saying like, yeah, she's just a one-trick pony who's going to talk about her pussy, and we get tired of it and we want to hear something different?
The crazy thing is, I think people are already on that level. Like, people were talking about her verse on the Drake joint, and dog, people were like upset she was on that fucking album, dog. Like, people just have gotten to the point where it's like, all right, it was cool with Pound Town, ha, he, and it's just like, I think a lot of people haven't taken her serious yet. And I see the energy. Like, she got the energy. She got the vibe. Like, watching her interviews, like, she cool as shit.
Watching her perform. She got mad energy when she performed.
Yeah. Dog, when she linked up with Tyler and she was talking about like how Tyler is like one of her favorites. Like, she loves like his old music and stuff. It's like, damn, I can peep that about her. Like, she got a little like down to earth, like chill vibe with her. It's just, she got it like with me. Like, if you want longevity, dog, like, girl, you gotta stay away from them sea urchins, nigga.
She gonna have to learn the hard way. She gonna learn.
No, man. But I want her to win the project. We gonna get off the project. It's cool. I like Hellcats, SRTs. I like that joint. That's my shit. I like, Pound Town's just funny to me. I think that song's funny. She got another song now. It Ain't My Fault. I like that song's pretty good. It's a decent little joint. It's a good joint. I give it like a 4.5. It's like almost like an average album. It's pretty decent. We'll see where she follows up with this joint. You know what I mean? Now, do we want to talk about this now, man? Or later?
Go for it.
It's your boy, man.
What?
We're just going to talk about Magic 2 and 3, dog. Magic 2 and 3.
Let's do this. Okay, let's go ahead. I liked Magic 3 better than I like Magic 2.
Facts.
But it's like, listen, okay, knowing you, we can at least have some solace in the fact that, all right, like, it's done now. We're done now, okay? How about we reflect? All right.
We ain't done. We're not done. It's never going to end. It's never going to end, dog.
You imagine Nas listening to this and be like, oh, you said we're done? Bet. Magic 4 coming out next week.
For reference, y'all. All right.
Surprise.
For reference, all right. We're gonna just talk about it because y'all have no idea where I'm coming from with this. I love Nas, dog. I'm one of the few people that believe I wouldn't say few, because there's a lot of people believe like Nas is like a fucking legend and shit. And he is. He is a legend. Damn, I didn't even save fucking Magic 3. Holy shit.
No, me neither. Me neither.
But I still like it. I didn't even save that joint. All right.
I didn't save anything from 2 either, so.
King's Disease dropped in 2020. And before then, he dropped the Lost Tape 2 in 2019. But King's Disease dropped in 2020. Love King's Disease. King's Disease 2 is my favorite. I don't care what anybody says. The second one was great. Phenomenal. 3 was good. But in between those 3 albums, he dropped 3 mixtapes, the Magic series. All 6 of these albums produced by my man Hit Boy, who did one of my favorite Benny the Butcher albums. Love Hit Boy. I love his production, everything. Sometimes I'd be scared for Nas, dog. I'd be scared because even though he's had this 6-album, incredible 6-album run, dog. Like, I ain't gonna take nothing from him. As much as I didn't like Magic 1 or Magic 2, and I really wasn't feeling Magic 3. It feels like Nas adapted to today's music realm, and that's what I'm like mad about. Because it's like, dog, like, you're a legend, dog. You're a legend. At the end of the day, Nas is a fucking legend, regardless if you want to see it as such. The man's a legend. But it's like you're putting out music so fast. It's like the Magic albums, like, I'm not going to say they're not quality, but they're definitely not his best, dog. Definitely not his best work, dog. Like, he could have kept that shit, dog. And I'm going to stand firm on that shit. An old head can hear this shit right now and be like, this nigga don't know what the fuck he talking about. He just said Gunna was a 9. Listen, I'm going to keep it real with you, dog. The Magic albums, they feel like fucking throwaways. There's quality within it, but I feel like he's adapted to this new age where it's just like, oh, people only going to listen to this joint for like a month and throw it away any fucking way. So let me drop the shit. When it's like somebody... Listen.
I think you're holding him to the standard of like how a typical artist would move, but when it's like Nas, he's under no obligation. I don't even think he's under any sort of label obligation to produce anything.
These last 6 all been him, dog. He dropped the Lost Tape to get off of Def Jam.
Right. So it's kind of like he's not under any sort of pressure. So like, is it far-fetched to suggest that maybe he's just inspired and wants to do this?
Yes. And all right, here's the thing, right? We talk about it all the time, like niggas like Wayne, Ross, Jay-Z, Nas, a lot of these people where we just feel like T.I., they're way past their prime. They're way past it. So it's like anything they do nowadays, it's just like, thank you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
It's just thank you. Thank you for still creating music, regardless of the quality, right? A lot of times it's like regardless of the quality. Because like Rick Ross's last album, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It was just thank you for still putting the work out.
We just appreciate it because we like to hear from you.
Same thing with like Carter 6 when it comes out. Like it's like thank you, Wayne.
Wayne's in a space right now where he doesn't need to chase a number 1 or anything like that. We got it. Yeah. Like your run is your run. Your career is solidified. When you're in that space of solidified, at this point you don't need to do more.
And Nas is in that same vein. So it's like with these 6 albums, it's not like there's any pressure to me. Like, damn, you're ruining your legacy. I wouldn't never say that. These 6 albums, they either only help or that's it.
It's helped. It's helped his
legacy. Yeah,
very much so.
Because Nasir fucked his whole shit up.
Oh yeah, now that hurt his legacy. Like what
that and Lost Tapes really hurt that man. So it's like with these last 6 albums, he's been working, dog, and I appreciate the work. But at the same time, like when we live in this era right now, like this is Nas we're talking about. These are 6. I feel like, and this is an opinion. This is one of those things like you see on like Twitter all the time, where the guy's got all the swords to his neck. This is a hot take that'll probably get my head cut off. But it's like these 6 albums, like they I don't know how to describe it, dog. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like I don't know, dog. I don't know how to describe it, but I know magic just ain't it, dog. It's just not it.
But can you applaud the output for somebody who doesn't have anything
always,
to prove?
dog, man. My man pushing 50, dog, and he talking about the right shit at his age, and you appreciate that shit.
And on top of it, he can still give you good stories here and there.
Yeah, he still got the bars. Everything's still there, but it's just like I told you, it's like slow down, dog. Slow down. Because again, all of these albums, it's like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I'm not going to say like they're going to be forgotten, but it's like, dog, you're dropping shit that is literally like in like 2 months. I'm like, oh yeah, he dropped that shit.
I think for you, you've reached a point of oversaturation. Like this is already too much already.
Like, you ain't like, it's not like somebody like Future had one of the craziest runs of all time in music where he was dropping so frequently that was like, yo, what the actual fuck? And it was all quality. It was all good. It was all good until we got to like around Evil. Once Evil came out, I was like, all right, here's the decline starting. You know what I mean? Purple Rain came out, picked it back up. You know what I mean? We had a nice run that I feel like nobody's ever had in music besides probably like Wayne. Wayne had that same run with
the mixtapes, yeah.
Yeah, so Wayne's had that run. So it's like to see Nas do it, it's just like, dog, like a lot of times I'm just like, you could either stuff some of these songs on one of the King's Disease or like just kept it, dog. Like, I'm cool, man. Like you're killing me, bro. And that's like the running joke we got for reference, dog. It's like I feel like every day Nas is dropping another album, then I'm gonna forget that he dropped because he drops so fucking frequently. It's like, bro.
But like, didn't we say the same thing about like Griselda? Like they had a pretty frequent run for a period.
The thing that I'm happy about, like I was just thinking about the other day, like, damn, when's the next time Benny dropping? I looked at, Apple Music, seen Benny, he ain't dropping in a while. So it's like, that's the type of energy I want to have. Like, damn, I ain't hear him in a while. Let me go see what they doing, what they cooking up.
I don't think anybody's doing that with Nas anyway either.
I don't have a choice. The nigga's dropping every other week. I don't have a choice.
But if he wasn't, were you gonna be like, literally, if you're gonna be honest with me, Derek, right? A month past, like, say these albums didn't come out, would you be like, damn, I ain't heard Nas in a minute. When is he gonna drop? Would you ever be like that?
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah. Dog, I'm gonna keep it real. Yeah.
Yo, Derek, you're not checking for Nas.
Yeah, we ain't checking for Nas, dog. We ain't checking for Nas. We ain't checking for Nas.
I wouldn't be like that either.
No, I had to think about it real quick. Like, I ain't checking for that nigga.
Exactly.
It's okay.
Look, you probably more quick to check for Jay more than you check for Nas, and it's okay. It's okay.
But it's just like, dog, like 6 fucking albums. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I'm fucking tired, man. Like, I'm like, give me a fucking break, man. Let this shit.
Maybe it's not for you.
Last joint and fuck with this joint for a while before you give me 15 more, nigga. It's like, damn. I didn't even let myself know how I feel about that Eminem song that they got together on the album before, nigga. Like, give me a minute. Give me a minute. Like, give me a fucking minute. And it's just like, dog, like Nas ain't one of them artists where it's like, Nas is giving you bars, storytelling, fucking all types of different rhythms with flows and shit you gotta check up on. This is like Kendrick dropping every 3 months, nigga. It's like, dog, I need a minute. Like, you giving me too fucking much, dog. And it's like, you're giving me shit that I feel like, dog, you could have kept it to your fucking self, man. Like, it's just, and dog, this, like I said, this is the swords up to my neck, and I don't care, dog. This is my take, dog. Like, nah, slow the fuck down, dog. Slow down, dog. Slow the fuck down, dog. Like,
but why? Why would he need to? Okay, this is Derek's personal thought. I understand that.
Listen. We can go back a couple podcasts and talk about it. I didn't even tell y'all niggas how I feel about King's Disease 3 yet, nigga. That shit came out November. We've had 3 fucking projects since then. 3. Two, my fault. Two.
Yeah.
Slow the fuck down, dog. Like, slow the fuck down, dog. Slow down.
This I think that's Derek's preference to song, because it seems like the general reception of these projects was like, yes, this is working. This is fantastic. We love it. I'm at the point
for a month and then we forget about it.
But not with every other album these days, to be honest. Like a lot of these albums that you brought in this list.
That's what we just talked about. That's what we just talked about. Does Nas need to be talked about in the same vein as fucking Coil Ray and shit? No, it's fucking Nas. We shouldn't be talking about him like we talking about Moneybag. Yo, nigga, this is Nas, dog.
But we're also at the
it's cool. All music is like this right now. Nigga, this man went from making Illmatic to giving us a fucking album every other week, dog.
But we understand though that he's past that point right now. Where
how many Magics do we have? Are we up to 5 now? Like, is he working on the next one? Like, what the fuck, bro?
I'm pretty sure he's already said that this is the last of it, and we're gonna have to wait a while before we get another one.
Oh yes, thank fucking God! Oh my God, I get a break. Thank you, Nash. Thank you, Nash. Thank you, Nash. I appreciate you. I'm a listen to the Magic 3. I didn't listen to it yet because, like I said, dog, tired. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. It's like, dog, you want to give me. This is like I said, like Kendrick dropping every 3 months, dog. You're talking about somebody gives you storytelling, great bars. You can close your eyes and kind of imagine the story that he's telling, and there's idioms and all types of shit.
Kendrick wouldn't do this because he's still in that prime of like, yeah, we still expect this from him. When it's Nas, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. If Jay did the same thing, he'd be like, yo, listen, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's not chasing anything.
It applies to all these niggas, dog. Slow the fuck down, dog.
Listen,
slow the fuck down.
Do what you want. Okay, you made a name for yourself in this industry by not listening to niggas like me. All right, you made a name for yourself in this industry by doing what you did, and now you're a fucking legend. And how is it at this point right now you're gonna be like, I'm gonna take directives from motherfuckers to tell me when I can and can't release music? I'm on the fucking label now. Do what you want, nigga. Do what you fucking want.
You're absolutely right. I'm nobody. I'm a nigga that gets barely 20 listens on my motherfucking podcast. But listen, I'm going to keep it real with you, dog. I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm just, swords to my neck. Y'all can cut my head the fuck off. Keep that shit, please, man. Like the King's Disease albums, love them. Magic Jones, I haven't liked not one of them yet. Not one of them. I be tired halfway through. I be like, dog, is it over? All right, cool. King's Disease, you can tell the production's a little better, the features are a little better, everything's storytelling, bars are a little better. Magic's, they're mixtapes, dog. Production's a little dumbed down. I'm not feeling them, dog. Slow the fuck down, dog. And with that being said, can you give us your rating on these 2 albums, dog?
Oh, straight 5s, man. They just like, yeah, it is what it is.
We went through all this for you to tell me it's mid, nigga.
I'm not saying that it's going to be extraordinary, but I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the commitment. I appreciate the inspiration, dog. I got to applaud it. All right? He can do whatever the fuck he wants. It's nice.
Dog, this is the same thing as like we said earlier. Like a nigga in front of the fucking deli talking about, yo, I'll spit some bars for $1, nigga. Like, what the fuck, man? Like,
Nas can do whatever the fuck he wants, man. That's that nigga.
Y'all can keep that shit, man. Keep that shit, dog. And like I said, any old head that want to fight me, dog. Like I said, I got mad old heads that be just like, man, you just lost, nigga. You just lost. And it's okay. My music taste is different. I don't fuck with Tupac. I don't like that nigga. I just don't like him. I think his music boring. You know what I mean? DMX was the best nigga in New York at the time. Y'all be overhyping Biggie, even though Biggie's lit. That's my nigga. Yeah, I mean, I have different tastes, and I don't like Busta Rhymes. I don't like that.
What?
I've been said this. You've been knew this. I don't like Busta Rhymes. I think he's just all right, man. Niggas be overhyping that nigga.
Dog, you're not even like, you never like Wuhan, dog?
Nah, man, I'm cool, man.
Pastor
Cool.
Cavassier, all that shit, dog.
I'm cool, dog.
Busta lit, dog. Busta walks so a lot of these niggas can run, dog. Busta is an inspiration.
He is, man. Shout out to that nigga, man. His little group that he was part of back in the day.
Flipmo Squad, nigga.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out, man. But yeah, I don't be feeling bored. You know what I mean? I have a different taste in music. I can appreciate Busta Rhymes is great at what he does. I mean, his music just I don't be fucking with it. You know what I mean? It's all right. We different people for different reasons. You know what I mean? Just like I feel like Magic 1, 2, and 3 just shouldn't exist. But that's me. And that's you.
We gotta say, I will say this though. You gotta give like beyond just like appreciation, but like we have to like at a certain point we will have to like look. This is like Hall of Fame type shit, right? You may not see it that way, but listen, for a guy at this point in his rap career, we're talking like over 30 years already, right? Well past the age of like we're expecting him to drop number ones. For him to come out and drop all these projects that all of them are charting, and it's a double trilogy within a span of 2 years. That is...
Please don't remind me.
That is ridiculous. And listen, you and I may have different opinions about the quality of it, but the numbers don't lie. It's doing numbers. It's doing great.
All right. If you say so. If you say so.
Listen, shout out to Nas and all that he's given us in the past and currently, and I look forward to the next King's Disease to come out maybe next month.
Oh, man. All right, man. So we're going to skip some albums, though, because we're about to hit the 2-hour mark on this podcast. I hope you're still comfy, y'all. Y'all got your water, y'all snacks still, because we got about another hour, dog. We're going to skip a couple. I've marked them. We're going to do them on the next podcast because we're close to the end of the year, so we shouldn't have a lot to talk about. So I'm going to actually give Magic 2 and 3 a listen. All right?
3 is better than 2. I'll give you that.
And we'll talk about them on the next podcast. Same thing with Austin, which is Post Malone's album. I didn't even listen to it yet.
No, I'm not going to listen to that.
So we'll talk about that on the next podcast. Really Heard by Bia. I love Bia.
Ooh, I did listen to that one.
I listened to it too. We'll talk about that on the next one.
I love Bia and I want her to win.
And I Told Them by Burna Boy, which is a
did not listen to that
album.
Not into Afrobeats.
We'll talk about that on the next one. Let's talk about an album that we that is not King's Disease or Magic, but it feels like Magic the way it was put together. And this is where old heads is going to hate. All right. Let's talk about Utopia.
Okay,
Let's talk about Utopia.
You kick it off and I'll come through.
I'm gonna paint y'all a story on my Nas tip, right? Hey. Spoiler alert, I'm dropping Magic 4, nigga. Yeah. I'm dropping Magic 4 right now, nigga. Yeah. So boom, right? I'm at work. Utopia is about to come out. I put my headphones on. I listened to Utopia. I listened to track 1, started off with Hyena. Now, I already seen the track list because he posted the track list like a couple hours before the album came out, right? Hype for this album was at an all-time for me because, as y'all know, I say it all the time, Astroworld is like in my top 5 albums, if not top 3 of all time. I fucking love that album. Astroworld's so fucking good. So I was waiting to see what the fuck Travis does with his next project. And then we got Utopia on, let me pull it up on my phone real quick. We got Utopia, it was like what, like the first week of August or something? It was like the 5-year anniversary of like Astroworld, the same week, July 28th. So yeah, we got it like right when August hit. So boom, we get Utopia. We got 2 singles that led up to it, K-Pop and Del Resto. K-Pop was all right. It's a song with Bad Bunny in The Weeknd. So, you know, just something for the radio. And then we got Del Resto, which is a Beyonce feature song, which feels like it came off of Renaissance. All right song. Cool. All right. So July 28th comes. We get the full project. Like I said, put my headphones in. We listened to Hyenas for the first time. And instantly I knew totally different vibe from Astroworld. Totally different from anything he's ever done. So I was like, all right, I have to listen to this with like a different lens. Again, I do have an artistic appreciation for music. FYI. I mean, because a lot of y'all like, oh, what, you don't appreciate the art? I do. It just depends on the artist. A lot of these artists, the artistry is so paper thin. There's nothing to unravel there, dog. I mean, you're not painting this vivid picture on like an Astro World or trying to think of like another album that, you know, is just kind of artistically put together very well. So I had to listen to this with like a different lens. You know, peep them saying lens. So Hyena plays. I'm like, all right, this is different. Thank God comes on. I'm like, I love this. This is dope. This is kind of like what I was expecting. Then we get into Modern Jam, which was a song I didn't really like when it first came out. I really didn't like it. But I've grown to like enjoy it a lot. It's all right. I do like Tizo Touchdown. Shout out to Tizo Touchdown too, dog. Shout out to him. He's been doing a lot of work with a lot of big artists. He just dropped an album. We're going to talk about it later, probably right after this, maybe. My Eyes, which people say is like the best song on the album. I don't really agree, but it is a banger. It is very good. That comes on totally different vibe from anything he's done. Rodeo, Days Before Rodeo, Birds in the Trap, Astroworld, all of it. So I'm like, whoa, this is totally different, slower tempo. And then we get like the beat switch at the end, and my man's rapping like he's got bills to pay. I'm like, damn, everybody's got bills to pay right now. It's crazy.
Niggas been listening to that Yeet, dog.
God's Country comes on. And damn, it's like, damn, dog, this is whoa, what kind of trip is going on? Sirens comes on, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I'm loving the energy. I feel like I'm on the run in some like South African country or something. It's just, dog, vibes are immaculate at this point. And then we get Meltdown. And then this is when we start to get a traditional Travis Scott album in a sense. We get Meltdown featuring Drake. We get a very good Drake verse. Then we get a beat switch, kind of like a tempo switch almost. Travis Scott comes in, he starts spitting. And then we get a beat switch. Sheck West starts talking some shit. And then Travis starts again rapping like he got bills to pay. I mean, he said, "I'll shoot your ass in Walmart like I'm the baby." I said, damn. I said, damn. I was like, damn. They got bills to pay. And then, like, the song of the year comes on. And I didn't know how to feel at that point, but I knew what I was listening to is gotta be at the gates of heaven, dog. Like when you like get to the gates of, like when you get up there and you see that shit, and you're like, damn, I'm really in heaven. It's just fame. It's like, yeah, let's go, nigga, let's go. We lit, dog. We made it. I mean, Playboy Cardi just introduced a new flow on the song. A lot of people didn't even know it was Playboy Cardi. I didn't know who the fuck it was.
I knew it was Playboy from
I'm like, who the fuck is this? Deep ass voice. No, my man turned it the fuck up on that joint. I said, bro. Then we get Del Resto, which is like a slow, like, you know, I mean, Beyonce. I think it was a throwaway. I don't care for it too much. And then we get like a song that a lot of people like, but I'm just like, all right, it's okay. Well, I know. It's like the most Travis Scott song on the album. Like, no lie, like it's the most Travis Scott song on the album. Then we get Topia Twins, which I wanted to save this for the podcast. I wanted to tell you, did you know on Rob 49's verse, he didn't rhyme not one fucking time.
It was kind of odd. Like, if anything that came after him made the song good. Because, like, I don't know why. Like, if we just removed him from the song, probably be a lot better.
Nah, he like set the tone for that joint a little bit. But then
21 Savage set the tone. All right.
I had to like really think about it. Like, I don't think this nigga rapped one time, dog. But when he said, throw it back and throw that pussy on me, like that whole joint just got lit. And then, you know, Travis Scott tried like he like, I got the glizzy on me. I'm like, damn, we lit. Yo, Toby twist that shit, dog. I was like, damn, this joint hard. Then we got Circus Maximus, which was like a song I didn't really like at first until I was like, this is when I realized, like, did Kanye have something to do with this album? That's when I started to realize, like, Kanye have something to do with this, John? Because this was like the most Kanye sounding song on the album. I felt like I was listening to My Twisted, Dark, Beautiful Fantasy for the first time again. I was like, what is going on, dog? You know what I mean? I didn't like it at first, but I like it now. And we got Parasail, which features my man Young Lean. Shout out Young Lean, nigga. Shout out Young Lean. Y'all ain't know who the fuck that nigga was, man. Y'all ain't know who he was, but we do. We go way back. We go way the fuck back, nigga. Yeah, dog. Parasail, nice little song. I actually cried the first time I heard it.
It's a good song.
It's a very great song. It's like a little interlude. You know what I mean? Something to just mellow you out. So we could turn up again real quick. We got Schizo with Young Thug. The beat switches here are fucking fun, fire. Young Thug's verse is great. Enjoyed it a lot. Oh my God. We got Lost Forever with West Side Gun, another great beat switch song. West Side Gun giving some decent bars. You know what I mean? He's not like the best lyricist, but he gave some like great bars. We have the worst song on the album.
This nigga here, I fucking hate you.
From the rip, I didn't like this song. This fucking Aki Daki Tyler the Creator ass beat. I was like, what the fuck is this? And we talking about love with Kid Cudi, because that's me, residential Kid Cudi hater. Fuck that nigga. I didn't like the song. I'm like, this is garbage. Turn this shit the fuck off, man. K-pop, it was like a basic single. You know what I mean? I like the little vibe to it. You know what I mean? Something for the Spanish niggas, something for the club. You know what I mean? And we'll get to that in a minute too with that. But then we get like probably like my favorite song on the album, dog. I go between this and Fiend, dog. Because I've heard Future Sounds before, which was the Kanye song that's supposed to be on Donda, which is what this is. It's telekinesis is that. But Future and SZA gave the greatest performance they probably ever. Dog, I don't know what Future was on that day, dog. Man, that motherfucker was on it, dog. My man said, I could have took the pain and I could have went outside. I was like, oh my God, this is the Future we love, nigga. And then we get Till Further Notice, which is a great outro. Great fucking, way better than Coffee Bean. Because I always thought Coffee Bean was just, it was cool little outro. But this right here, Till Further Notice, you know what I mean? Where you going with me? I was like, yo, this shit heat. All together, I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to give it a 9.5, dog. I'm going to give it a 9. 9.5, dog. This right now, as of right now, we gotta let this Drake album marinate. Just remind y'all, we're recording this podcast 2 days after it drops. So I really ain't ride around to the Drake joint yet. I've done a lot of driving to this Utopia. So I know how this joint bumping. Production-wise, this album sounds great. It sounds great in headphones, which is a lot of albums don't do that. They don't sound good in headphones. Just think about it, right? All right. This joint sounds good in headphones, good in your car. Great album, dog. Great album. 9.5. I love it. Beginning to end. Love it. I've listened to it multiple times. I love it. I love this project, y'all. I love it. This is probably my favorite album of the year. I'm glazing a little bit, but it's good, dog. It's a great album. Fiend. That shit crazy, dog. Telekinesis, that shit, all that shit goes, dog. Thank God, you know what I mean? It's just, everything is great, dog. It's a great album. We needed this. This is when I knew the drought was over. When this joint came out, the drought is officially the fuck over, dog. Because this album can well carry me into like next year, dog. Like, no lie, dog. This album's that good. And the replayability is good. Good. Go ahead, man.
Oh, what's it? I'm not going to give you a track by track analysis, but I will say this: it is a fun album to listen to, but I wouldn't rate it over Astro World.
Yeah, hell no.
Wait, what's it? I remember us having this conversation, and you kind of would put it over Astro World. Have you given it a bit more thought?
I think we need to give it more time. I think things like that take time, dog. Like, it was just this year, 10 years later, that I realized that Drake's best album is Nothing Was the Same. It's not Take Care, it's Nothing Was the Same. That's Drake's best album, dog. That is his magnum opus. That is his Reasonable Doubt. That's it, dog. That's life before death, nigga. That's it. Ready to die. That's it. That's Drake's joint. And all it took was years of like me like cycling through music. And like, you got to understand, like with music, the fun thing about music, the fun thing about hip hop really is influence. I feel like everybody influences each other within hip hop because the sound constantly changes and it constantly moves, and this person becomes the pioneer, right? Like Chief Keef was the birth of all these young niggas rapping, and then they've become greater than him and ascended further than him, but he's still got his place and his greatness and his right above everyone. Same thing with like a T.I. or a Lil Wayne, or, you know, people who have done things before everyone else. You know what I mean? You got to give these things time. Like, this is one of those albums where I said this with Donda, and we're starting to see this. This is what I wanted to talk about right here, right? Remember how I told y'all when Donda came out? Go to the episode. It's called Donda versus CLB. Go to that and go listen to it. I literally say, Donda is going to have influence on music in at least the next 5 years. In 5 years, we're going to see a lot of people have albums that kind of sound like Donda. You know what I mean? Have that same type of vibe. This whole album, when I listened to it for the first time, the influence, Kanye, Donda, Yeezus.
I was thinking more Yeezus than Donda, if anything.
There's some Donda influence in there, though. God's Country, thank God. You know what I mean?
If I was to characterize this album, I would say it'd be Yeezus, but done right.
Yeah.
Like, I hated Yeezus when Kanye did that. But this sound right here is like, if Yeezus sounded anything remotely like this put together by Travis Scott, it would be a monumental album.
Yeah.
And this, I mean, from first listen and even to the continuous listens that I have, this is a fantastic listen. Like, my issue, not necessarily an issue, but my thing when it comes to like Travis Scott albums, I have to be in a specific kind of mood to listen to it. Like, I can't wake up and first thing in the morning turn on a Travis Scott. That's just like, no, that's like fucking brushing your teeth and drinking some orange juice afterward. It don't taste right. Like, so whenever, like, I did the same with Astro when it came out. Like, I remember when it first came out, I tried to listen to it in the daytime. I was like, nah, this music, it's not fitting this current mood that I'm in. So I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna wait until like there's the right kind of mood to listen to it. And I didn't listen to Astro World for months until one day I was just like, all right, I'm coming home from work and it's like nighttime. And I'm like, okay, and I got a bit of a drive to go. This is when I was like working at the temp agency, and I'm driving. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to turn on Astro World. And it just takes you into another space. I felt the same with this. And that's the thing about Travis Scott's music, okay? He puts you on audio adventures. And that's what's amazing about his artistry. Like, you can't describe it or even put it, like, it's hip-hop. But, like, the kind of shit that he does transcends any definable genre. Because it's not rock. It's not EDM, it's not techno, it's not this or that. He puts it in such a space where you're just in a different world when you're listening to Travis Scott's music. And you got to listen to it during the nighttime. Just the nighttime is where it is, okay? You got to be on some other type of shit listening to Travis Scott's music. And listening to this album, it was a fun journey, but I will still told to this day it was not Astro World fun. Astro World was fun and still is fun.
What do you rate?
What I rated, I would give it like,
I gotta know.
8.5.
All right, I can live with that.
Yeah, I could listen. I think this album is gonna be up there among them. Okay, I think it's gonna be up there, and I saved about like I want to say 10 out of like the 16 tracks. It is a good album. It is a fucking good album.
Yeah, we gotta get this joint some time. Like I said, I think this is one of those albums where it's gotta marinate. And the one thing that I appreciate with is you could tell like TikTok was not a factor with this album. Like it wasn't like he was trying to throw things out there and see if they stick to TikTok. Like he stayed true to the lane that he's been in since he came out, really. Since Rodeo.
The real artists are going to do real artist things, and Travis is a real down to earth fucking artist. Okay, you can tell in how he puts together his works that like he's not in this for like just to run the numbers up and give you like TikTok specials here and there. No, like he's giving you quality music, and like I said, like you don't just no artist that just puts music out there is going to put you and give you the kind of same feelings that Travis Scott does. Those audio adventures where you're just like put through all sorts of emotions and put into different dimensions and everything like that. Travis will do that to you. And that doesn't come by just like, all right, I'm going to hop into the studio, record a couple songs, and like a few songs that I like, I'm going to put on the album. A couple songs I didn't like, I throw on the deluxe and just like whatever. No, he's meticulous. Like that kind of level of like artist level meticulousness is what we kind of miss from a Kanye. Like we want that. Like listen, Astroworld came out back in like was it 2017, 2018?
Yeah, 2018, August 5th, 2018.
It took us 5 years. 5 years until we got something else from Travis.
But that's the way it should be.
That's the way. That's the way.
Take your time, Nas. Take your time, Nas.
Okay, pause. Now, that's not fair to Nas because we can't compare. But two, certain artists are afforded that luxury. When you're like a regular artist on a label, you're usually rushed to kind of produce more work because they got quarterlies, they got like they got numbers that they got to hit before the end of the year. Okay, it's like listen, you gotta produce something, so you're kind of like on the clock and everything like that, and like. Because it's like that, and again, that's why a lot of these artists are playing the TikTok game because it does numbers for the label and everything. But as far as like quality music that comes out because of it, the artistry suffers. And unless you're that artist, again, you have to be like a Kanye West. You have to be a Kendrick Lamar, a J. Cole. Listen, even Drake can do that, but he chooses not to be that artist where he can just like, listen, I'm gonna give you something and I'm gonna wait and like, but again, if he did that, he wouldn't be Drake as well. So it's like it's for him, he has a little bit of leeway and freedom to do what in that sort of space, and that's like his choice. But like, listen, I can appreciate the artists that will give you that quality project, and you will have to just wait until they decide like, okay, now's the I'm inspired enough to give you another good quality project. So thank you to Travis Scott for not just rushing out after Astroworld. Listen, we probably would have gotten this album a bit sooner had it not been for the the Astroworld disaster and everything. But nevertheless, a right amount of time prior to right amount of time between the last album and now for him to give us a quality piece. Did not disappoint.
Yeah. Like I said, dog, I really like this album. We're gonna have to give it a couple years, dog. I do still think it could be better than Astroworld because Travis, to me, he's always elevated. He's never like real Travis Scott fans has been fans of him from the beginning. Will always say like Days Before Rodeo or Rodeo is better than everything else. But I think it's like Rodeo, then it's Birds in the Trap, then it's Astroworld, and I think this is the next evolution. I think that's the way artistry really should work, dog. I really think like that's the type of quality we got with this, dog. Like the thing about it is like the features feel good, the background vocals feel good. Like Sway Lee on Circus Maximus feels really good. KC on Thank God feels really good. Like a lot of these songs, dog, it's just they're put to like Sheck West doing a little interlude on Meltdown. Is you fucking crazy? Is you fucking like it's just like there's a lot of just pieces that's like only somebody who's like a student of Kanye would be able to understand how to do that. Like only Kanye can do shit like this, dog. And Travis Scott did it too. You know what I mean? Like it's great. Like you'll never see like a Drake do something like this, or like you know, just any other artist do what Travis did with Utopia. Great album. Enjoyed a lot. You know what I mean? And that's, like I said, we're gonna be talking about that at the end of the year. A lot of these albums, for the sake of time, right? Because we're like 2 hours 20 in here. For the sake of time, we're going to be moving a lot of these albums off to the next podcast. So, like I said, we're going to talk about A Love Letter to You 5 by Trippie Redd on the next podcast. We're going to talk about World Music Radio by John Baptiste. Because remember, guys, we didn't know who he was. Remember the 1 year we didn't know who he was when we did the Grammy joint and he won all those Grammys. I actually listened to one of his albums. He got fucking Lil Wayne on one of his albums. One of Lil Wayne's best verses is on that album. So yeah, I'll send it to you. Listen to that. We'll talk about Sex, Money, Drugs by Lucky on the next album, on the next podcast. How Do You Sleep at Night? Next podcast, and we'll listen to Diddy's new compilation on the next podcast.
I need to listen to that.
Yeah. So let's briefly talk about Rocket Power by Quavo. This is Quavo's second solo studio album. Showing love to Takeoff. Rest in peace to Takeoff.
Rest in peace,
Rocket Power. But unfortunately, this ain't it, dog.
Was Offset on this album?
Yeah, he's on Patty Cake, which is like one of my favorite songs. This is the thing. The intro goes hard. Then we get Patty Cake, which is the second song. Then we get Mama Told Me, which is all right. And then it just gets bad, dog. All the way up until like Turn Your Click Up with Future, which isn't even like a really good song. It's all right. You know what I mean? And then it gets bad again all the way until, the end, dog. So, like, I ain't gonna lie. This joint's like a solid, like, 4 to me, dog. I give it even lower than that. Maybe like a 3.5, 4, in that range, dog. I really wasn't feeling that. I do think, however, this week, Offset's album drops. So we're getting Offset's album this week. So we'll be talking about that on the next podcast as well. And I do think that's going to be some quality. That joint's like 20-something songs, though. So they got a lot of Cardi on there. He's got a lot of features on there. This joint doesn't really have that many features on it. There's only like Baby Tron or Baby Drill. I don't know who the fuck that is. And Honcho. We got Young Thug, Future, and Takeoff. That's it. And it's 18 songs, 51 minutes. So I wasn't liking the length, and I wasn't liking what I was hearing. I mean, I give it a 4 for Rocket Power. Now, I'm going to let you take it off with this El Toro 2 real quick. You know what I mean? Give him a little brief with it. I didn't really listen to it.
I didn't finish it. That's the thing. It's a solid. Listen, it's a solid project, but like if you're like a diehard ESTG fan, he gets back to like one of his producers that he's been working with forever, rolling from like the earlier like mixtape days and whatnot. So it's a nice return to form for ESTG. From what I've been listening to so far, I appreciate it. It's nice. Okay, I'll give it like a solid maybe like 5, 6 maybe.
All right, this sounds about right for ESTG. All right, let's drop down. We're gonna get into the nitty gritty with it. Like I said, we're skipping 3 albums, right? We're skipping I'm the Problem by K. Michelle. We're gonna skip Gangsta R2 because Warren didn't get to listen to it yet.
I did not even know it came out.
And then we're gonna skip Earl Sweatshirt's album until next podcast. We'll talk about.
You can give me that because I am not listening to them hobo raps together, bro.
That shit's crazy. You listen to that song I sent you, the Feet of Clay song.
I listened to 15 seconds of that song, and then I was like, I can't do
that. Joint. The first time I heard that song, I was like, "What the actual fuck am I listening to?" Yeah, so we're gonna skip those. We're gonna get into the heat. This is the heat.
That's your man's.
We're gonna talk about Scarlet by Doja Cat. Scarlet by Doja Cat. Now, let's get into the optics of this album first, right? She had a lot of, like, devil worship accusations come out around the same time as this album. She even had a video where she dressed up as, like, a demon. It's called Demons. And people,
like, so only, like, fucking niggas took that shit. Like,
yeah, people wasn't feeling that shit. So, like,
oh, what? Like, honestly, why are we still even giving, like, it's just look, it's so fucking frustrating.
I feel you because I was very excited for this album once I seen like Doja Cat was back to rapping. Once I peeped she was back to rapping, I was like, yo, I'm gonna fuck with this. I'm gonna like this project. And I did. I liked it a lot. It's like a pure rap album, dog. It's dope. It's dope, dog. So like the intro, we got Paint the Town Red, which I told you I really don't care for. TikTok kind of fucked it up. These bitches thinking they bad when they not. You know what I mean, when they really for all the dogs. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? When they really for all the dogs. You know what I mean? Demons is heat. I fuck with Demons. I fuck with it. People don't like that John, but I like it. Wet Vagina is fire. That's probably my favorite song on the John. Fuck the girls. I didn't really care for it. Ouchies is okay. 97 is all right. Gun is okay. Go Off is Shut Yo is Agora Hills. People love that song because it's like a pop-ish rap song. It's all right. I think it's all right. And then I'm just going to tell you the rest of the album all the way to the last song because I'll do like the last song is kind of mid. The project is good. There's no features on it, which was like, whoa, because if you guys remember, Planet Herd was a pop album and it was really good. People really liked it. I didn't really like it that much because I really don't like the pop shit that she does too much. I do like when she's like in her little rapping vein. Like I like Streets. I like the joint she had with Gucci and stuff on there. The Hot Pink album. You know, album's all right. I'm gonna give it like a 6.5, dog. Like I'm gonna give it a solid 6. I'm gonna give it a solid 6. It's pretty good, dog. It's a little above average. I'm kind of hoping and waiting to see what she does next because this just kind of feels like a hold off till something. It didn't do very well sales wise. You know what I mean? Compared to her last album, which was just like dog, I think this joint only did like, I may be lying with this, but I think it only did like 70K first week, which is bad for her because I think her last album did like, I don't know. I gotta look it up. I'll look it up. But yeah, man. I don't know if it's just niggas being turned off. Look, I just Googled Doja Cat, and the first thing that came up was Doja Cat Devil. Like, it's just like, why, man? Like, why are y'all like this?
Like aside from that, she also did kind of diss her fans, like I think a week prior to that. So like
yeah.
Yeah,
she did 72K her first week.
Damn, man. She went granted that's crazy.
Yeah, that's bad for her, dog. I was surprised by that. Cause like I said, she her last album, I gotta see what Planet Her did. I mean, and by the way, talking about sales doesn't mean it's a bad album or a good album. Cause Utopia
sales is one thing, okay, quality is another.
Yeah, because Utopia had crazy sales, and that's because of bundles and shit. They were literally giving away vinyls. I have a Utopia vinyl, like I got for $5.
How?
Because I bought a T-shirt.
Nigga, what?
I bought a T-shirt. It was an extra $5 to get the vinyls. I was like, all right, I get it. It's $5. It boosts the sales. You know what I mean? That's why they did it. Planet Her did 100K first week. So, like I said, big drop off for her. I mean, because this Doja Cat she a problem. She's a problem. I mean,
yeah, in a good way.
In a good way. Next album we're going to talk about is.
Still think she's an industry plant, but all right, cool.
Yeah, she is. But next album we're going to talk about is Only Me. Falling or Flying by Georgia Smith. That's my baby. I love her. She's beautiful. I want her. I want to be with her. I love her so much. She makes beautiful music, dog. Beautiful woman, beautiful music. I've been waiting for this for a long time because the thing with Georgia is ever since she did her first album, right? She's been doing like these small ass projects. Like they're just like 7 songs and shit. So you can barely call it like a fucking album. You know what I mean? When she did Lost and Found, what was that? That was 2018, right? That was 12 songs. When she did Be Right Back, which I love that album, only 8 songs. So I was waiting for her to do something big, like give us like a big project with a lot of music. Give us that jazz, cafe, Starbucks music that I want from her. And she did. She came correct, dog. 16 songs, 44 minutes, great run time, right? Nice little features in there. You know what I mean? The only one I really knew was Jay Huss, which is I think he's a UK Afrobeats artist. Intro is fire. I love Try Me, dog. Great song. She Feels is good. Little Things is a banger. That was like the lead single. Feelings is good. A lot of great music on here, dog. You gotta be like into that, like I call it like Starbucks cafe, jazz club type music. It's really good. I mean, this is for the niggas that think all I listen to is fucking trap and rap. I listen to other shit.
Let me ask you though, like, did you listen to Cleo Soul since she dropped?
No, you talking about Gold?
Well, she pulled the Nas and kind of like she dropped.
Yeah, it's called Gold, right?
Well, she dropped. Let me try to think. Let me see the 2 projects here because she dropped one, and then a week or 2 weeks later dropped another.
Yeah, it's Cleo Soul Gold. Yeah, I got it in my
It's Heaven. Heaven dropped first, and then Gold.
Oh no, I just got Gold.
Yeah, Heaven dropped like a week prior.
I'm a peep because I seen it on there on the new music, and I was like, all right, you know what I mean? It was, you know what I mean? The same people that kind of listen to Georgia Smith was listening to that joint. So I was like, all right, I'm a peep. I'm gonna give it a nice little listen. But this joint, I really like it. She gave us the project that I felt like I've been waiting for a long time, and I love my girl. I love Georgia Smith. She makes really good music. I'm gonna give it like an 8, dog. I'm gonna give it an 8 because I do think it's really, really good, dog. I think it's really good. I enjoy the project. I'm gonna be listening to it for the next couple months. That's gonna be my background noise when I'm like editing and stuff like that. Like it. I really like it. All right, we got 2 more albums for y'all, and we ending this bitch, y'all. We got The Fix Before the 6, Lil Wayne. I'm gonna let you take it. Go ahead.
Kind of like what we was discussing in pre-production. It's kind of like we don't hold this to any sort of like hard standards because it's like, yeah, this is like, listen, mixtape. Let me give you something to let you know I've been working, but like, don't expect this to be on the album. This is just to kind of like hold you over and whatnot. And my takeaway from it is like, listen, man, Wayne is eternal. All right, man can still rhyme his ass off. All right, the man is going crazy. At least on a couple of these joints. But. Let me ask you. I want to ask you this: What did you think about when you heard Titty Boy for the first time?
It was all right.
I just thought it was kind of wild, where it's like you're rhyming like crazy before you know it. He's just like saying titties, 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 like almost like an EDM bounce type of way. Where I'm just like, imagine just riding around and you just hear a nigga just blasting a nigga just saying titties over and over again. Like that is kind of wild to me, conceptually speaking. Like, but overall, this is solid. Like it's solid. I wouldn't even like dignify it as giving it a rating because it's like, again, like what this is prepping you for is Carter 6. So like when Carter 6 comes, we gonna see what he's coming with. And like, listen, I've been saying this before in previous podcasts before when it comes to Wayne and whenever he drops features and everything like that. I look forward to whatever he drops now. I'm at a space right now where it's like I'm enjoying hearing his voice again. So like, yeah, listen, when Carter 6 drops, we best believe we're gonna be on top of that.
Yeah, this ain't it. I ain't gonna lie, this ain't it, dog. Like I was hyped. I seen it. I was like, yeah, we in there. I heard Act Up. I'm like, all right, what did they like trade verses? Like John Baptiste got on this joint. He got on his song. Birds, I didn't really like. Slip was cool. Cat Food is all right, but I don't like the beat. The beat's really fucking annoying. But that's always been a Wayne thing. Wayne is like, he's got a weird beat selection, dog. Even if you like Google like Lil Wayne type beat on YouTube, if you type in like Lil Wayne type beat, like they're all like strange ass beats. Like he's like really weird with his beat selection. You know what I mean? Tuxedo is he just trying to give Euro a check. That's his guy, man. You know, he trying to make sure his Young Money niggas eat. To the Bank is fucking fire, dog.
It is. That's the song I saved.
That shit's fire. Chanel No. 5 is good.
It's good,
No New Bitches is all right. Titty Boy it's all right.
Titties.
And then Good Morning, just I was like, all right.
You could have skipped Good Morning because that's literally like the intro song to Undisputed on FS1. So it's like, like they just threw that in there.
Yeah, I give it like a 5 if I had to rate. It's average.
Yeah, again, it's just a holdover. So I don't have a lot of like expectation when it comes to when it comes to this at all. So like, listen, we'll evaluate Wayne and where he stands when Carter 6 drops.
Yeah. All right, guys, just a moment y'all been waiting for. We're going to end the podcast right now. Site 9. For All the Dogs, Drake just came out 2 days ago. We're not going to rate this album. We're going to rate it on the next podcast.
What?
You're going to rate it on the next podcast. Yeah, because I feel as though it's been 2 days. I didn't get to listen to it in the car yet. I need to hear these slaps in the car, dog. I played it on stream. We've listened to it on stream. If you follow me at twitch.tv/BLAZEDxENFERNO, we listened to a couple songs on stream. I was fucking with it. I was liking it. I was like in the bass in my headphones and stuff. I need to hear it in my fucking car, dog. All right? I need to hear I Don't Give a Fuck in my car, dog. I got to hear that joint in my car. I got to hear the Yachty joint in my car, dog. I got to hear them shits in my car, dog. Because that's a defining factor. You know what I mean? But Warren, we're gonna give you your take first because my take, I know what people want to hear. They want to hear my take, dog. They want to hear what I got to say. We're gonna make you wait. Warren, go ahead, dog.
It's a solid album. It's better than like Certified Lover Boy, and
Definitely.
Like I wouldn't even compare it to the 21 Savage joint, but like as a standalone project by itself, like again, solid. But again, when it comes to somebody like Drake, at this point, and especially at this point where it's like you're looking at him for like chart topping numbers, like he's still within the prime of his career where we're looking for the next thing to drop. Like we're expecting classics at this point. We're expecting things that are going to be like defining the generation. And honestly, I think we're at a point right now where to me it's sounding all the same to me. Like it's almost like he's like a soft boy's version of Future.
Facts.
Where it's like I'm the toxic male and all I talk about is like relationships and the women I deal with and all that kind of stuff. And at a certain point, like nigga, I'm 30 years old. All right?
He'll be 37 in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm younger than this nigga, and I'm
Remember
sorry,
that,
like
y'all. Remember
and
that.
I'm
He'll be 37 in 2 weeks.
And I'm kind of in that space where I'm like, he's kind of making music for the 20-year-old niggas who are still in that like immature, like immature adversarial relationships where it's like all about getting over on your partner in a way. And I'm just like, I'm kind of done that. I'm kind of done hearing that too as well, at least from that kind of artist where it's like, where's the growth? Like the only growth that we get from him is him admitting that he has a kid. That like, yeah, like I'm including my kid. I have one. I'm not hiding him anymore because I almost kind of had to do that against my own will because another man pointed that out to y'all guys. But nevertheless, this is like, I don't know. I'm tired of like toxic masculine rap from a guy who's like, you should be just chilling out right now and just talking to me about like, he should be on his 444 Drake tip right now. He should be on his like.
He gave us that way 8 a.m. in Charlotte.
One song versus an entire project. Like, I don't want to hear like. I don't want to. I don't want to hear like little glimpses of like your growth. Look at somebody like J. Cole, for example. All right, J. Cole and his artistry and his
which is on the album,
which is on the projects that he came out with. You can like chronicle his growth as a human being. Look at how old J. Cole is right now.
What do you mean?
Look up how old J. Cole is right now.
Isn't he like 36?
38.
He was born in 1985. 1985, I arrived.
Close around the same age as Drake, but you can see in his music, we're talking about a man that was in his 20s and he was talking about fucking bitches and doing all this type of stuff and everything like that, chronicling him to the point where he is to like Forest Hill Drive.
38, god damn.
Forest Hill Drives, KOD, Fall Off and everything like that. The content isn't the same. It's not the same. He'll give you the same rapper bars, obviously, because that's like, that's eternal. He'll always be like, I'm better than these niggas and all that kind of stuff. And I like that type of shit, okay? Talk your shit.
Yeah, I like that too.
But as a human being, he's like, even when he wants to get vulnerable and talk about the things that are going on in his life and what he's thinking about and everything like that, he's giving me mature bars. He's giving me mature perspectives. He's giving me the insights of a man who's grown up in front of us, chronicling his life experiences. Drake, for the amount of times he's, produced and given us music, I still don't know who the fuck this nigga is. He's still somewhat of a mystery to me. All I get from him, and it seems like his defining characteristic is, I'm a nigga that fucks a lot of women, and like your girl over there, I fucked her, and I was there first, and she might be dating another nigga, but like best believe I was there. And I'm gonna give her new nigga some new bars because I'm petty like that. And for some odd reason, niggas think that kind of shit is fly. Like, listen, save that shit. Save that shit for the Jack Harlows because he can do that shit. I keep saying, like, if Jack Harlow was making music. Yeah, but more like Jack Harlow, because like the critique was like he's sounding a lot like Drake in a sense. But now I'm thinking about it like, remember when I would always say like if Jack Harlow was making music back when we was in college, this shit would be the move. Because at that age I was on that type of time. Now I'm in a space right now where I'm just like, okay, nigga, you kind of grown now. What more is there left? Like, he is a phenomenal artist when it comes to experimenting with different sounds. It's just content that I'm wanting to see a bit more growth from. Mm-hmm. I want to see more from him on a content level, as opposed to because listen, that's not to take away from him as an artist, because we've mentioned this several times as well. The man can adapt new sounds and pull them into the mainstream and then foot into different flows. We didn't criticize him for that dance album because we understand that's the space that he can be in. All that, like, he is still a phenomenal artist, but at the same time, when you're giving me an album like this, now I'm looking at you like, okay, you're in your space now. You're in your groove. This is your hip hop, rap, R&B type shit right here, and it's still sounding like you from back when.
Yeah, and I think this is not to cut you off. I think this is like, to Drake, at least, this is like the magnum opus, dog. This is probably gonna be like the album before retirement, because, like I said, not to cut you off. He said it right after the album dropped, right? He was on a radio station the whole night until 6 a.m. when the album dropped, and he said he was gonna be taking probably the next 2-3 years off to just kind of focus on his health. People are speculating he's got some type of health issue or something like that, because he said he's going to talk about it later. But yeah, this is like probably like the album before the album he about to go off on. So just keep that in mind too.
I think it's probably just him recognizing that he needs to like space it out, similar to like how all these other artists of his caliber are doing. You need to space that shit out. I'm at a space right now where I'm kind of getting tired of hearing. I'm getting tired of hearing him all the goddamn time.
But I feel like And all right, this is the part of the podcast where certain people are gonna be saying I'm dick riding, I'm glazing shit. I'm here for it because I'm ready to argue facts over opinions. Because with music, everything is subjective. So there's really little facts and there's all opinions, right? But I'm gonna let Warren finish.
I mean, there's nothing much left for me to say other than like it's a solid project, but similar I take with CLB when it comes to an artist of this caliber. We're not looking for, all right, it was all right. We're looking for you to kind of like smash it out the park. Give us something new. Give us something that's going to make us talk about, like, what was said in the music for years to come. Like you were saying, like Nothing Was the Same and Take Care. Those are like bona fide classics. Those things were genre defining and like changed the game in a way from like his artistry standpoint. Now I don't see a lot of growth in the content. Like you're still rapping in a sense of like you're still rapping like the bitter X from Take Care. All right, we're in Marvin's room all over again, only a little more toxic. Like I don't want to hear this shit no more from you, dog. I want to see.
Yeah, I feel that.
I want to see some growth. I want to see some growth I want to see him, the human being, the father. All right, I want to see him rapping like a dad. All right, I want to see. I want to see. I want to I want him talking shit about like his investments or something like that. Okay, if you're gonna stun on niggas like that, don't stun on me talking about who you're fucking anymore. Like I don't want to hear that shit no more. Right?
Yeah.
Like come on, we all like your audience. I want to hope grew up with you, all right, and doesn't want to hear that shit no more, unless you want to continuously make music for the young demographic and stay in that mental space. And I don't want that for you. I want better for you in that regards.
Mm-hmm. What do you rate it?
6.
Fair. Came out on October 6th at 6 a.m.
Just a drop of 6.
And he gave him a 6. Warren might be a devil worshiper. All right, guys, let's get into it. The glazing y'all been waiting for, the dick riding. Get
Can you stop calling it a glazing, dog?
Let me get the condoms ready, everything. Right. Listen, I don't care what niggas think, dog, because I tell people all the time, like Drake ain't even like my top 3 favorite like rappers all the time. He's probably like 4 or 5, maybe 5. I mean, number 5 on that list. I enjoy Drake's music. I enjoy what he gives us. I mean, and he's given us classic after classic after classic after classic after classic after classic after classic. So many years, dog. He's been on one of the craziest runs I've ever seen. Like I tell people all the time, I didn't even like Drake when he first came out. Didn't even like the nigga. I didn't like the nigga till Take Care came out. You know what I mean? So it's just like, me being on that wave is just like, wow. Like I've like Warren said, I've grown up with him. And this was something I wanted to say, like when we're talking about Nas, but I waited till now. Like Drake just gave us 4 albums in the span of like a year, really. A year. What was that last 2 years, because September 2021, we got CLB. And then the following summer, 2022, we got Honestly Nevermind. And then what was that, November of last year, we got the 21 Savage album. And then now we have For All the Dogs. So we've been on this really weird ride with Drake as an artist, dog. And it's like, listening to this album, For All the Dogs, made me realize something, right? It made me realize like how far Drake has really came, but how long really was the like journey? I mean, like where did he go? Yeah, I mean, like where did he go on this journey, dog? And it's kind of like one of those things where it's like I wanted to describe it like this, right? Like Drake has lived on the same block for 10 years. And like all of his neighbors have either grown up or moved out, and new people have moved in, and he's just been in the same house. That's kind of like how I would describe Drake. Like the journey has been really shallow because he's been in the same place, but that place has been at the top for so many years, dog. Like I'm not even trying, like I said, like people want to call it dick ride. Let's call facts. Facts, dog. When this man dropped God's Plan, dog, it was just, and I don't even like God's Plan like that. But when he dropped it, it was just it seemed like just the world fucking froze, dog. It just seemed like everything was God plan. Did you listen to God's Plan? God's Plan, God's Plan, God's Plan. Dog, when Views came out, it was like views. When he surprise dropped, if you're reading this, it's too late. It was like, dog, it's just like Drake has given us so fucking much material, so much music from so far gone till now. It's crazy, dog, to just really think like where it all came from. And it's like, we've gotten to this point, and I think it started at Views. For me, at least, it started with Views, where we've kind of seen the, he reached the climax. Like Views for me was like the climax for Drake. That was like the highest point he ever. It was like when he got to Views, it was like, dog, he's never gonna top this. He's never gonna top this shit. He's never gonna, like, sales wise, hit wise. Like, there's so much good music on Views that had me just like, dog, like, he's never gonna be able to top this moment in history, because Views came out at a time like, you know, Warren was graduating high school. I'm going through it with one of my longest relationships. Like 2016 was like a year. It was a year for me, dog, right? It was a year for all of us. But I feel like that's when we started to come out of our adolescence. We're 22 going on 23. You know, we're growing up, drinking, partying, all that shit is starting to cut, like, slowly, well, for my niggas, run out of their system. You know what I mean? We starting to get into who we're going to be for the rest of our lives. And Drake remained the same from then till now, right? He's changed musically, flow-wise, the people he works with, things of that nature. Yeah. You know what I mean? But at the same, it's like at his core, Drake is still remain Drake. We haven't got the 444 of Drake yet. We haven't gotten that. You know what I mean? But it's weird to say, man, because I like almost gotta applaud Drake for the moves that he makes, because he knows what he's doing. While everybody else is playing checkers or they're playing their cards close to their hand, it's like Drake is just not afraid to do what he, like, just drop all the chips and make everybody else move on his time, because that's what he does, dog. Even though we talk about CLB being like kind of ass, I mean, I have an appreciation for it now, because before this album came out, For All the Dogs, I went back and I actually listened to CLB, and I'm like, dog, this wasn't as bad as we thought it was. It just needed time. It needed time. Right. And that's why I made like time such a big thing when we talked about Utopia, because again, like it took me 10 years to really realize, like, I always used to dick ride Take Care. Like that is my favorite album of all time. Of all time, that is my favorite album of all time. Right. So it's like, I dick ride that album so much, like, yo, like, this album is the greatest. This is his best. But like, me growing up and maturing was realizing that Nothing Was the Same is his best album, dog. And what people want from Drake is literally on that album. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that line Jay-Z said, like, you want to hear my old shit, listen to my old album. You know what I mean? Go and buy my old shit. You know what I mean? And like, I've always applauded Jay-Z for moving that way. Like, I'ma just keep doing different shit. Like, as much as I don't like Magna Carta, Holy Grail, I went back and listened to it and realized, like, that's just the growth in his music. That's where he was at that time. That's where he was. With Drake is in a place where I think, like, and this is just me thinking, like I said, a lot of people won't call it dick riding, whatever. I mean, right? He's fucking with so many other people, and I think he's so tapped into the youth that I don't think a lot of artists can do that, like really tap in with the youth. Like, you gotta think, right? Drake grew up with us. We're grown now. But we have a whole generation behind us that also grew up with Drake, dog, that are still young. Like my sisters are 21 going on 22, dog. They've essentially grown up with Drake at 10 years old, 11, 12 years old. They heard Drake. They heard, just hold on, we're going on. They heard that. They heard, I was running through the 6 with my woes. They heard Controller, One Dance. You know what I mean? They grew up with that. So now Drake is at a place where it's like he's gotta cater to the old heads, which are the people that are older than us that grew up with Drake. You know what I mean? People his age that grew up with Drake, right? Grew up with his music, was partying when we were still in high school and shit, was hearing him in the club. You know what I mean? He's got to appease to those niggas. He's got to appease to us, and he's got to appease to the younger generation, which before we started this podcast, we talked about it. The kids run this generation, just like we did. You got to think. Teach me how to jerk. Who was that appeasing to? That wasn't appeasing the niggas that was listening to fucking the Biggie and Rakim and all that shit. They was appeasing to us, the niggas that were still in high school, getting ready to go to college, getting ready to party. It appeased to us. So at that time when we were 18, 19, 20, all of that music, that's why it finally clicked to me when I listened to this album, because me and Warren talked about it when I was at his house not too long ago. I've been listening to a lot of music from 2013, 2014 when we were in college. And it was taking me on a trip wow, all this music is amazing. This is time, a lot of it's timeless music. A$AP Rocky's album, fucking Schoolboy Q's album, all that shit sounds dope as shit. It's it takes me back. And then I had to think, look who controls the charts now, who controls TikTok now. Look who controls all of that. The kids, dog. You know what I mean? The 20-year-olds, the 21-year-olds, the kids that are in college, the ones that are going to the clubs, buying the bottles, buying the shots for the girls, going through heartbreaks with they high school or college sweetheart. That type of, they control the music. Dog, we're literally looking at everything in reverse, dog. And I need everybody to see this. Think about it. When we were growing up and we're listening to Lollipop by Lil Wayne, what were the old heads saying? Oh, this is garbage. Give me Nas. Give me this. Give me that. It's just the evolution, baby. This is just the evolution of music, dog. We've outgrown the popularity right now. We've outgrown that because it's not for us, dog. It's not for us. It's not for us. Just like old heads be like, I'd rather listen to Ready to Die or DMX or Illmatic and all that shit. We're at the age where we'll say, we'll rather listen to Carter 3 or Take Care or Nothing Was the Same or fucking Good Kid, Mad City, Born Sinner. We'd rather listen to that. It's just history repeating. But the only problem is Drake knows who to cater to. It's not us no more, dog. I didn't go to a Drake concert, did you? But I bet you these kids did. These kids that still live at home with mommy and daddy. Yeah, they went to that. They went to his concert. They paying the bills. They are paying the bills. We paying our bills, making sure a roof over our head. I ain't got money to go see no motherfucking $300 to go see Drake, but these kids do. He's catering to that generation. And it's crazy because Drake's the only artist that can still do that because he's grown up with 3 different generations. The people his age, us, and my sister's generation. You know what I mean? He's able to do that. He's able to do that, dog. You gotta really think, dog, everything repeats itself. Whereas we're looking at all this new shit, the Trippie Reds, the Lil Uzis, man, that shit's corny, man. Give me the Kendrick Lamar, the J. Cole. That's because we grew up with that was our music. That's our generation. The 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016. That's us, dog.
My thing is My thing is this, okay? I think it's beyond, like, it's not that we have a problem with the content of the music, say if we're coming from somebody that was of that generation. Like, I don't criticize young artists doing young artist things. I will listen to those young artists and hear the content in which they have in their music, and I'm not there holding them to the same, standard as like an older artist would. It's like, yeah, you're young, you're supposed to be saying these sorts of things, and I can vibe out to it because in that mind frame, like similar to like when I was telling you when we listened to Jack Harlow. Like, yeah, it's of that mind frame. So it's like, yeah, I fucked with it because it's good. It's pretty good sounding music, but yeah, like it doesn't cater to my particular demographic, but it is what it is.
Yeah, yep.
My question is when it comes to Drake is how long does that last before it becomes corny because you're an old man doing that?
Listen. I think it's starting to get corny now, dog. I keep it real with you.
And I think that's the critique here, where it's just like, all right,
I think
we're not seeing anything growth. It's like for an artist of your caliber, why, like, whatever happened to I'm at a space right now where I can make the music that I want rather than I have to placate to the younger generation, or like I draw the line. Eventually, this nigga using Gen Z language in his music and shit. Okay, where it's like, dog, do you really need to sound like this? Do you really need to do all this when you are somebody who is so powerful that you don't need to do the numbers game? You don't need to do shit like this to kind of like to run the numbers. You're Drake.
We seen that. Well, honestly, never mind. I'll answer that for you, right? When I first listened to this album, right, we're going to get into the album review, right? With all that said and done, I need y'all to keep that in your mind, pack it away, and let's think about the album, right? Like I said, Drake he's about to be 30 fucking 7, dog. He's too old to be doing songs with Lil Yachty talking about, yeah, I mean, like, it's too old for that, right? He's too old for that. But who's to say Drake ain't making the music that he wants to make? I mean, plus like I said, I'm not his friend. I don't know this nigga at all, besides what he gives us in interviews, which he never does. But he gave an interview with Lil Yachty where he was just kind of like, he was on a type time where you could tell like Drake is afraid to fail because he knows, and I think he knows by now that regardless if he knocks it out the park or not, niggas are gonna hate because that's just where he's at, dog. Everybody's gonna be like, oh, it's not like this. It's not better than this, but it's just like there's gonna be this constant because he's Drake, dog. He's the biggest machine on the planet. I'm gonna say he's just like Cardi B. He's a machine, dog. He's literally a machine, dog, that's afraid to fail. You could tell he's afraid to fail, but at the same time, he's accepted that people aren't going to always fuck with him and fuck with what he does, and people are going to look at him like he's strange and this, that, and the third, and he's him. I mean, he's him. And I'll never take that away from any man, and neither should any of you. No other man, right? And I'm not saying you're wrong, Warren. I'm just kind of speaking to the people that kind of like, no other man should judge another man, dog, by what they do. Oh, he's 37 years old with cornrows, or he's doing this, he's doing that. The only thing that I don't fuck with that he does is the finger painting thing, because it's just, I don't know, no man should be doing that, right? No man, right?
Do what you got to do, man.
but the other shit, like, dog, like I said, like, just too much, dog. And I feel like when you become so comfortable with yourself, you just don't care. And I think that's where Drake is. You feel it on his album. Like, I had to question myself when I listened to Virginia Beach, dog, because I'm like, Drake usually kills the intro. The intro's usually like the hardest song on the album. Just think of all of the intros on every Drake album. They go the fuck in, dog. They go like Legend on if you're reading this, it's too late. You know what I mean? Over My Dead Body on Take Care. Tuscan Leather on fucking Nothing Was the Same. Free Smoke on fucking
More Life.
No, yeah, More Life. Then you got Scorpions got Survival. You know what I mean? It's just he always nails the intro, dog. And it was like, but this intro is like totally different. It's totally different. I was just like, man, my man got the auto-tune going crazy, like he one of these little young niggas. It's just like, yo, this is crazy. But he was still giving the bars. It was like an evolution thing. So then we move into the next song, which I didn't think I really liked that joint too much. Whatever that, I got to pull up the track list. So like I said, this album just came out too. Yeah, Amen with Tizo Touchdown. Get shout out Tizo Touchdown, because like I said, he working with a lot of niggas, dog. You know what I mean? A lot of niggas. I didn't really like that joint. But the Calling for You song, I was like, this is the one. This is the Drake. Even though he's doing all the auto-tune and I fell in love, all the little, you appreciate the evolution, what he's doing, and the sound. The sound is something different for Drake, even though a bunch of young niggas do it, dog. And we got Fear of Heights, which is a fucking Fear of Heights and Daylight are hidden gems, dog, because they're like literally like an ode to older Drake songs. Like I feel like, I mean, that's it. Then we got First Person Shooter with J. Cole. Fucking flames, dog. Fucking, like I said when that song came out, I said it this day, I'll say it again on the podcast. On October 6th, right? 2023. If you had a white mom and a black dad, you was winning. Mixed niggas was up that day. We was up. We had two of the best mixed niggas in the game on a song together. We was up, nigga. We was up, dog. We was up. We was the most desirable niggas on the planet that day, dog. We might still be. I don't know. But we was winning that day. If you had a white mom and a black dad, you was that nigga that day, dog. Then we got I Don't Give a Fuck with Yeet. And Yeet, he appeases to the newer generation. I mean, and we see Drake doing the Yeet thing. And it's just like, whoa, this ain't Drake, but it's fire. That's what I was saying. I'm like, this is heat. Like, this is fucking heat. You know what I mean? Then we got 79, 69 Santa. I like that joint. Sorry. We got Slime You Out, which is a fucking heat. That was the single. Heat. Bahama Promises. I actually don't remember that joint. Tried Our Best is good. Screw the World is fucking fire. It's If I Ruled the World, but I think like DJ Screw did it. Shout out DJ Screw, rest in peace, DJ Screw. Drew Picasso's good. Members Only is like classic Drake. It's P&D and Drake. This is like 2015 Drake. That's the vibe I was getting from it. What Will Pluto Do is fucking, that's like probably like my favorite song on the joint, dog. I ain't gonna lie. That's probably like my favorite joint. We got All the Parties with Chief Keef. We had Chief Keef on a Drake album. I was like, yo, this is nice, dog. He had the little Chief Keef flow going for a minute. We had 8 a.m. in Charlotte, which, you know, anytime he gives you a time and place, it's on, it's popping. That song's fucking phenomenal. BBL Love interludes, all right. Gently, that's something for the Latin community. Shout out to the Latin community. Rich Baby Daddy is a mess. I don't know why Sexy Red just shouldn't have been on that joint. Just gonna say it. But Another Late Night was nice, but it was like nice in like if like X and Yachty did it, not Drake and Yachty. I mean, Away From Home is good, like closer. And then like Polar Opposites is, I love it, dog. I love it. I like the album, dog. I'm going to give it a solid 8. Give it a solid 8, dog. Giving it a solid 8, dog. If I had to go off for right now, dog, because I know I dick rided with the last Drake album with the 21 Savage on, but that joint really was heat. I think I gave it like a 9 or a 10, and it stays there, nigga. That 21 Savage project was great. It was great. It was short. It was sweet. It got to the point. This joint's got a little too many throwaways on it, but they're like Drake throwaways. So they're like, it's like, all right, thank you for the song. But like you could have kept this joint off. It's kind of like Views. Like Views to me is a like 10 out of 10 album. No lie, like no bullshit. But it has like a lot of like filler, like hype. like hype. That song I really didn't care for too much. Like there's like a lot of like filler on that joint, dog. So you know what I mean? I give it an 8. And I'm excited to see what Drake do next, dog, because it's only up, dog. When you at the top, dog. I'm a quote DJ Academics, dog. My favorite. Who's your top 5? Cause my top 5 is Drake, and Drake, nigga. Like what? Like dog, like real shit. Like who's better than Drake, dog? Who's doing numbers better than Drake? I just saw the Billboard joint this morning. That man's got 20 songs in the top 20, dog. Seems like what he doing is still working, dog. But like I said, niggas love to hate, dog. Niggas love to hate. You know what I mean? Like I said, listen, I'm gonna just say it like this. Kendrick Lamar, from a fan perspective, from fans and my perspective, he dropped one of the worst fucking albums of his career with Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Won a Grammy.
Still his worst.
Again,
to his fans.
To who?
To his fans. Even his fans say this is dog. Even dog, cut it out. Even his fans say it's definitely not better than fucking.
It's definitely better than Damn. That's for goddamn sure.
Damn's not easy, not hard to beat, but it's still Damn won a Pulitzer Prize.
And that's a makeup Pulitzer Prize, okay? I don't believe that bullshit.
Look, man, I'm just trying to tell you, you gotta stop looking at the awards and the optics and all that other shit, dog. Even
if I'm gonna evaluate it on the quality of the album, you already know how I feel about it. It's a good album.
It's a good album. I like it now that I'm going through a lot of the shit that he's talking about on it. I mean, it's cool. You know what I mean? It's cool. But like I said, dog, people say it's like his worst joint, dog. Just trying to let y'all know, man. Y'all gotta stop looking at these award shows and all this other shit. Oh, man, he only sold this much, man. Like I said, dog, like my favorite album by Kendrick ain't the one that everybody else's favorite album is. It's To Pimp a Butterfly. People love Good Kid, Mad City, but I think To Pimp a Butterfly was way better in my opinion. Way better.
You're entitled to believe that, but trust me, listen.
Entitled. Just trying to tell y'all niggas, man, stop it. Stop it, dog. Stop it. Because the one thing about it is the numbers don't lie. The numbers ain't lying. People are saying the album's trash, but the shit is in rotation. Niggas are listening to it. Like I waited.
Yeah, niggas.
I waited till the end to say this, right? Utopia, right? Sold all these numbers. It did all these sales because of bundles and shit. But not one song was in the top 5 of Billboard. You know what I mean? Like I said, like you gotta stop looking at everything else, dog, and just form your own opinion, rock with it. Don't look at what Instagram's saying, what this is saying, what that is saying, because Drake's still on top. And it shows. It fucking shows, dog. Yeah, it fucking shows.
But he's at a point in his career where I honestly believe he can be too similar to like Kanye. You can be too big to fail, and no matter what you produce, even if it is substandard quality, people are going to rock with it because the name. Yeah. Like you had this critique when it came to Kendrick as well, and I think it is valid. Where it's like people will pretend like they're seeing something and are rocking with it just because. Like it's a Kendrick album. You want to think that it's deep because it makes you look as if like it's deep, or you're rocking with it because it's very popular, but the quality just isn't there when it really isn't there. It harbors people from being very like objective whenever they're evaluating a piece, and I felt that way about Kanye for years now. Where it's like, yeah, Yeezus was terrible. I was surrounded by people who constantly told me that Yeezus was the greatest thing to ever come out since sliced bread. It was awful. But again, we're at a space right now where Kanye can fart on a track and like it's gonna be the greatest thing to ever come out. I feel as though that there are certain artists where it's like you're too big to fail at this point, and no matter what, like Eminem, that's my biggest gripe when it comes to Eminem. Eminem will give you like shit utter shit.
That's cap though, because you seen that when Revival came out, it was utter shit. Niggas hated it, and it didn't do good.
Okay, question: niggas hated it because niggas don't rock with Eminem like that. But his core,
the white niggas didn't like it neither.
No, the white people's loved it. What are you talking about? That shit charted.
I gotta see.
It was loved. Eminem can't do no wrong in their eyes.
I'm about to look at first week. Oh yeah, that joint went crazy.
It went crazy. It's Eminem.
That joint went crazy. That joint
Eminem
did 200.
Can't do no wrong.
No, this was back in the day when numbers could get inflated by a lot of shit too.
But listen,
it was
Eminem
267K, dog.
Eminem could drop today. It's gonna do numbers because he just has that core, and it could be a crap album, but it doesn't matter because like they just love him.
Damn, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers did 300K first week. Damn.
Yeah, listen, and that's again that can be strictly off name. Listen, I hold this. The reason why I don't think Carter 3 is better than Carter 2 because I think Carter 2 was so good that it created that level of anticipation for the Carter 3. What you're getting is the anticipation based off of how good the Carter 2 was. And it says nothing about the quality of Carter 3. It was a good album, but it was definitely not better than Carter 3. Sometimes the name itself is like a brand thing. We're getting this because we trust the brand. We trust the brand of Kendrick Lamar. We trust the brand of Eminem. We trust the brand of Drake. Even if these past few albums have not hit the same benchmarks or standard of quality that we're accustomed to, it's still going to do numbers because we're just like, listen, he can do no wrong.
Yeah. It's crazy, but it's true. Yeah, I give it an 8, dog. I ain't gonna move on that. I think the album's decent. I gotta listen to it in the car. But from what I heard from the 2 listens, because I only listened to it like twice, but front to back, it's Drake. How about this?
Drake. You hold that 8, listen to it, and then the next podcast you're gonna have to come back and like reevaluate how you're really, really feeling about the album.
All right, that's what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Write it in the notes. I gave it an 8. We're gonna come back to that, John. We coming back to back. But yeah, this podcast has been over 3 hours long, so we're gonna wrap it up for y'all here, man. Like I said, I don't know when this episode is gonna drop. I don't, because I'm trying to do something special with it. We're gonna drop this alongside with a gaming podcast for you. Maybe do a little double pack joint for y'all. And talk about some things. We got an interesting concept for the next episode, which will be episode 71. So y'all might get both of them in the same week, same day, something like that. It's not going to be dropping the week it's supposed to. I mean, just bear with me, man. We trying some things out, dog. But yeah, you got anything to say? Closing statement?
No, nothing.
Podcast?
We had a lot of like things to cover, but I'm glad we were like back up. We're updated now. We can now start listening to fresh new albums to kind of like accumulate for the next music podcast. So yeah,
we'll be listening to Pink Friday in a couple weeks.
Oh,
Pink Friday too.
Wait, question: is we ever gonna get that Pusha T Gangsta Grills?
I don't know.
We ain't gonna get that joint, is we? We just not gonna get it. It's Q4. I be checking every Friday, dog. I'm waiting. Fucking waiting, dog. I need
it. Hopefully, man. You know, Drake just dropped, so he got shit to talk about now.
Yeah.
He got shit to talk about.
Yeah, he do.
You know what Pusha T like to do?
Besides rap about cocaine?
He like to talk about Drake.
Between coke bars, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I'm here for it. Yeah. And then we about to get a new Kanye album, apparently.
Apparently, he's doing like a collab with Ty Dolla $ign.
Yeah, I'm here for it. Kanye.
I mean, I'm eyed on it.
The Picasso of our time. The Walt Disney. The Steve Jobs. Walt Disney, nigga. The male version of Oprah, nigga. Listen, dog. All right, I'm done dick riding. Y'all have a good day. This has been episode 70 of the Inferno Gaming Podcast. We got 30 more to go till we hit 100. So we got about another year probably.
Hey,
until we hit 100, and that'll be a good joint. So
we can probably crank out a couple more of these joints. Okay, retrospectives on the way.
Yeah, next retrospective, we'll give you a little hint. Yeah, I mean, we'll give you a little hint. You give them a hint.
We already told him
the title.
We already told him what the next retrospective was.
Oh, yeah. So look forward to that. OJ and Kush, baby, it's coming. All right, y'all. Peace out to the next one. Make sure y'all check out the links in the bio and stuff like that. Check them shits out. All right, y'all. Peace out.